Let's do this. Let's get that Chicago typewriter.
So it's like, I feel like if you weren't really thinking about that, I feel like A tier isn't even like a bad choice for her, but because of the unreliability of Gale Force,
Yeah, it's like just reliable. During
endgame resources being able to just like outshine Gale Force a lot of the time, like, I think B tier is a solid choice.
And again, even if you're saying like, oh wow, Woodblock counters bosses, yeah, great. How about you just do some code? It's like she's semi-classic, but she does have the niche use of outlasting any.
If you want to take forever to kill a boss with Block and Mario, unless Mario's like power bouncing, then have at it. See, now we're on to the second best partner.
The second best partner.
No, the king.
I feel like some people
What's
might
up
be
with
like,
this
no,
lag?
these better.
I'm gonna talk about this because I did say, or I think that I was gonna talk about this. I think Yoshi. So Yoshi definitely S tier, the other S tier partner in this game. Yoshi is the best all-around attacking partner in the game. Because I'm saying this as a partner only. Bella's usefulness comes from her being able to have Mario act twice, plus being able to be like Mario with multi-bond. Yoshi is a better multi-bond because it's not capped. Stampede is literally ground pound against every enemy on the field, even ceiling enemies. Don't ask me why.
Even though it says it only hits grounded enemies, it doesn't. It hits everything.
It hits
There's
literally
probably
everything.
a mistake.
Mini Egg is a great string, although that's not really as useful most of the time.
No, Compass.
Yeah, you can like do a lot of damage with Mini Egg too. Like a single target with a lot of power, Mini Egg does a lot of damage. And then Gulp is easily his worst. In the very beginning when you get him, it's like not terrible. It's just not as good as other moves, as the other moves. So Yoshi can solo the game on his own, and he's the only partner that can do that.
I don't know what was said because it's one damage. It's not gonna.
Right. What I'm saying is like you could equip partner, you could like play the game with just Yoshi equipping partner badges and stuff. And Yoshi clears the entire game on his own. He's not hindered from fire. He's spike enemies. He's just a matter of his status. As long as Yoshi can live, he can attack, defeat every single enemy in the game.
Spike your fight cost. So Yoshi
Cortez
close gets high.
I don't think you can even jump on Mario's head. I don't even think you can. I don't know if you can jump on it though. But that's. The thing is, Yoshi's the only partner that can use well other partner. And well, I guess it's not nearly as good as what Yoshi is.
Talking about what can power reduce things.
Oh, that's not true. Never mind. No. Bob can't do this. If we're not using items, Yoshi is the only partner that can beat every enemy without special moves or items you can use to. It's Yoshi's one strength.
All he needs is his raised attack power.
And it's amazing. You can literally just barrel stampede every enemy loadout in the pit and they will all die. No questions asked. Even elite wizards can't stop Yoshi.
Well, you do need a lot of attack power for that.
Yeah, but I mean, you're getting, like, even starting at 9, it's still a lot. Man, why is Yoshi the best partner? Well, TBH, Yoshi uses a lot of FP to get his stuff done. Yeah, Mario is a more efficient attacker. Mario is a more efficient version of Yoshi most of the time.
Well, Cappy's just very partial to Mario.
Okay, so this is what I want to talk about, though. I think
Mega Rush is better than Mega Rush.
I do. No, I put Mega Rush P above Mega Rush in my tier list.
Okay.
That doesn't mean that Mario's not a better attacker than partners, though. Just means that Mega Rush P is a better badge because a lot of partners can't. Anyway, what I think about Bella and Yoshi is I think Bella and Yoshi are both the best partner and not the best partner. Because ultimately, I think it kind of comes down to how you like them. I think Mario's the best attacker in the game. I think he can do everything. You can regen SP so easily. Mario has so many more options to set up. And with Rally Wing, you can do a bunch of crazy stuff with him. And you can one-round opponents because of that. Because Mario is just better.
Bella allows for way more versatility than Yoshi. Yoshi is a one-trick Yoshi.
if you think partners are better than Mario in attacking, I think Yoshi's better. Because Yoshi can do a lot of the things Mario can do. It really comes down to how you like control it though. Because again, Yoshi can still do whatever he wants to a lot of enemies in peril. So it's like, do you prefer using partners or do you prefer using Mario? I personally think Mario is better, and Rally Link allows for some crazier stuff. So I think Bella is slightly better than Yoshi. If someone comes up to me and they're like, Yoshi is the most fucking partner of T2ID, I'm gonna be like, alright man, good for you. I'm not gonna argue that, because like, again, Yoshi is insane.
Yeah. Bella, I think is better because she allows for herself to be good, while also allowing Mario to be better.
Sure, and that's kind of how I think about it too. But again, I wouldn't go into like an hour-long argument with someone about why I think Yoshi isn't better than Bella. Like, I feel like it's more personal preference for these two at the end of the day. I think it's pretty clear by now that they are both top. They are the tippity top of partners in the scene.
And again, it's purely because of like multi-hit attacks. They are insane the way they scale with extra attack power. It is fucking crazy.
So the only thing that Yoshi doesn't have, efficiency with FP, because Stampede is like 6.
Yeah, but again, he is technically more efficient than Bella at what she does because his base move is speed. Like the only thing holding him back there is that he starts with 2 less attack power.
Yep.
Compared to Bella.
That's it.
So, could make an argument for Yoshi to be better than
Not bad.
Bella, but we'll just choose not to agree with that.
Yes. Yeah, that's really all I gotta say about Yoshi. Try him out.
Try him out. Even as a kid, I think it was very good. As a kid, my favorite partners were Yoshi and Bobbery.
Yeah, I think I really like to use Yoshi too, I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
I was like, man, charge P! Holy shit, dude!
I was a Yoshi Koops Bobbery guy for sure.
Just Yoshi and Bobbery, dude. All you needed.
I remember really liking Koops as a kid.
Thank you.
Damn, I thought Shell Slime was so sick.
What's that E, bruh?
Bruh, I don't know. We have like 50 FP.
Up my 70 FP.
Yeah, man.
On a move, what the fuck? Yeah.
Yeah, may as well use 9 to move on best instead.
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, so Vivian.
Oh, that's hot. That's hot.
You can talk about her first.
Why should I talk about it? Are you playing something?
No. Where you gonna put her, bro? Where you gonna put her?
I don't think I would put her in C. I would put her in C, dude.
I'm a really hard. Okay, if you don't know this about me, I'm a really harsh critic when it comes to this kind of stuff.
Well, here's the thing.
Sometimes I'm too harsh though. So I hear what
I
you're
don't
saying.
know, because like if you look at it, James basically just
Almost anything, yeah.
yeah, it doesn't have pokies and Chinese probably,
Yep.
Xbox mobile, yeah. So like Shane is this fine. Veil is
Kind of bad.
it
Kind of bad?
to dodge and charge the attacks.
Has like 2 real uses. That's it. It's trash.
Wait, how does
It's level 0. It's specific. It has. You can loop Cortez's second phase with it.
Wow!
It's really good at level 0. Against Shadow Moons for 6. She does the hand drag. You can escape that.
Oh, just
You can also use it to guarantee not get back.
also you can just do shells.
I'm talking at level 0, bro. Partners aren't upgraded at level 0.
Oh shit, dude, no shells get driven.
That's right. No show shit. I'm
I'm
just
saying
saying.
at the partner's entire kit, so
Veil is trash. It's like the worst
Veil
weapon.
is really bad.
It's gotta be probably the worst weapon in the game, IMO.
Even if it gave you one FPS, you wouldn't use it.
Yeah, it's really bad.
You don't need anything against one dodge attack. It's really unnecessary because, for example, category charges that doesn't be that I think, right?
Yes.
Is what she just attacked the 2 turns. She moves up more damage.
Exactly. The charge is actually one of the worst attacks.
Yeah, the Fastway really bad. It's funny. That's all I'm gonna give it. I love the confused status in T2ID.
Me too. Yeah, it's not. The only thing she has going for her is Fiery Jinx.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fiery Jinx is like, I don't lie. I think Fiery Jinx would be better if it got an extra power and extra rank, but it doesn't. Okay, yeah, it's still fine. Which is really bad, in my opinion. So,
Feral fire is poetry. Is definitely not as good as like feral feral that.
Yeah.
And in Pierce's defense, I think a feral fire jinx has
Absolutely. Do not disagree there. I do think it's worse than Peril Shell Slam though.
rock enemies that are immune to fire.
Yes, and the Muzzy Beetles are immune to fire, and she can't set off bubbles. And when she bombs like with her Peril, because she'll just die,
Yeah,
whereas
yeah.
Shell Slam just comes in. Or even just Power Shell. That's the worst thing in bubbles. Just Shell Slam. They die. Without lighting anything. Preserving
How
that.
about this? How about you defend the fact that very screwed above?
Because flurry, I think that's if you actually use flurry against boss. If you're gonna use fiery jinx,
Not against ball.
no. And then you're not gonna use I just feel like flurry that's more used against bosses, and Vivian is just not that great unless you start getting into more back into the challenges. You start going like more niche. Like what the
Vivian is decent against the bro. Yeah, your fire jinx and pierces that.
well, that's true.
And kill connections at the same time.
Well, that is true. It also just looks stupid. Or just, you know, kill him with Mario. Or just kill him with Mario, bro. It's power moves. No, I would agree. No, it's not. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not like it's bad. The thing is, like, at the end of the day, like the utility you're getting out of Gale Force outweighs what you're gonna get out of Fire Chase most of the time. Because like, you need to have the full power suite. I mean, obviously, you just got a power versus two. So you need the full power suite for Vivian to be able to defeat Dark Blockadoos with one fiery jinx, whereas Flurry can just blow it away. And they're actually and it's less FP, and you still get experience. That's a good one. All Muzzy Beetles, even though they're a little more resistant to flying, they also completely resist fire. You have a better chance with Flurry than you do with Vivian. And we're just, by the way, I'm just comparing Flurry and Vivian here. Obviously, Yoshi also strikes these guys. But,
I mean, it's fair. Enemies that resist Gale Force, like, let's say, left, if you doesn't do anything, it's
You can think about like what Fire Jinx kills with Peril. I kind of just feel like Gale Force also does the same thing for less FP. And again, I know Gale Force is unreliable compared to like Fire Jinx is more reliable damage. But like,
I think she should be a season now.
Vivian? That's tough to say. Because again, Gale Force is unreliable. I think for me personally, I would put her in C at the top. But I started thinking about expecting Vivian. I don't know.
What the fuck?
I think, but
Wait, hold up. Are we gonna talk about this now? Alright.
no.
Let's
Yeah,
fight.
sure.
I think if someone puts Vivian in B, you know,
I
I
got a
wouldn't
little
like.
confused.
I wouldn't like
Oh,
really
wow.
argue, because again, some of these are like more personal preference too, like where you put tiers. I think the only thing you can't really argue is Yoshi and Goombella being at the top. You know, it's like, and maybe Koops being above the rest of the fighters. I think
That's the
once
thing.
you
Like,
get
the
lower,
top 3 are easy.
yeah, but like the bottom, I feel like you could put Vivian and B, and like I wouldn't like really argue, but like I think she's C. I think she's in that C tier. I actually think Flurry's definitely like pretty much better than Vivian.
Because Flurry works against enemies and bosses. Vivian kind of doesn't.
And again, you can go down, you can dip into challenges to like increase Vivian's viability because she's better than Flurry as you like get into tougher challenges because Vivian's a later partner and just offers more because of that. But if you're talking about going just to the vanilla game, and as you're getting the partners, you're doing your thing, and you're trying to be like optimal and fast and using shit, I just think Flurry does a better job of using than Vivian will. Like, when it comes to bosses, it's no contest that Flurry's better than Vivian. That's kind of where I stand right now.
It's like Flurry's, Vivian's skin is just kind of nothing, and then she has fire.
And again, it's hard. It's hard to rate these bottom ones because the top ones are so fucking good. It's like, why aren't you just stampeding?
Why don't you use
Power
these?
Shell?
Why are we talking about these?
Yeah. It's tough to say. It's tough to like rate these sometimes because it's like you're comparing against. Because when I make these kinds of tier lists, I don't just look at the partners in a vacuum. You gotta look at like all the other options that like, are available in the game because they compete with these partners. Like you can't just be like, I don't know, you can't just put them in a vacuum because there's so many more options out there that do things that partners do, like badges and special moves and stuff that can compete with them. and like that you can supplement them, so it's like not just the partner doing the work, right? Yeah. The only reason Yoshi's so high is because he can be put in a vacuum and win stuff, which is insane. So he's the only one. He's the only one. Like, well, you can't put any other partner in a vacuum because they all get fucked. Yoshi's the only one. I'm trying to conserve items and not like be like wasteful and optimal again. I just think Flurry does that. You don't need to spend a Thunder Rage to beat Spike Trigger Velocities if you have Flurry out, because she could Gale Force in the way. Compared to Vivian, like you have to, or you have to use Earth Check. Okay. Conserve all that, just use a little FP with Flurry.
Okay. And generally, throughout the game, you would be running around like a little baby Mario and be in danger of dying to an attack. Gale Force is totally fine. If one enemy stays, it's like, we'll just attack you. Yeah. And that's totally fine. Yeah. I guess Vivian will belong in C. People might be very shocked about that. Vivian, I guess you guys.
Quite a few enemies that Vivian can't kill.
Well, not all the ones that are inspired.
Yeah, which is actually more than you think.
All the rocks.
The rocks, Muzzies, Chomps.
That's funny because like she pierces defense, but those are the defensive enemies.
Her greatest use is that's like her, yes, her best. So she destroys the wizards. Yes.
Up in there.
Yeah.
You want to use fire grenade.
Yes. Or standard.
I'm just
Just saying, yes, you can use, yes, fire juice. But you can also use Gale Force because puffs are weak to Gale. Yeah, tough, huh? It's tough. Vivian maybe not as good as you think because there's so many other competing options.
Yep.
I think that's her issue. I feel like if Yoshi and Gale Force didn't exist, Vivian would definitely be much better. Okay, let's talk about Bowery. The Viab, who I think unanimously for the Glitz Pit, they thought, besides Mouse, I don't think we really considered it here. Bobbery was definitely like the worst of the partners game throughout the story.
Yeah, and you would have voted
Well, we keep talking about how Fire Jinx is just not that good. I'm like, wait a minute, come on. Bombast
It's
kind of
true,
clears.
but what Fiery Jinx can't kill,
Bombast kind of clears. Hold on.
what Fiery Jinx can't kill, like, you know, lemons, or crystals, or fuzzies, like, first of all, Bobbery doesn't do anything against fuzzies.
But that's the
He
only
grounds them.
The other two, he does.
He does hit them. He
And
does
flips
kill
them.
them because that Bobbery. But he does flip them. Again, that's 9 enemies. Just to do a bit of damage. Flip enemies that take us what? Weight hammer.
That's true. You could just make it.
I don't think saying on Bobbery can hit more things really makes him more useful than Vivian.
No, probably not.
The things he does with this one crazy move, this one new trick that just explosion, is just anything else.
Yeah, it's the
Don't
FP.
use ball fast, please.
Like I said, if a Bombast was 7 FP, he'd be better than Vivian. Bobbery probably has the second best move in the whole game, hold fast.
Just behind the veil.
Just behind Veil. But it's so useless, because so many enemies don't actually cause contact damage anyway, even though they should.
I like what they tried to do with that. It's like they gave him a bunch of HP to tank with the whole fast.
Yes.
So I get what they tried to do, it just doesn't work
Yeah.
in the offensive things about it.
And, you know, again, Bomb was okay, Bombast is a lot of FP, and it's like, fine, but it's so much FP, and you can do so much more for less with so many other partners. And Bomb Squad is niche. It's only good for a couple things. It's really good when it's really good, otherwise it's really bad.
It's kind of slow.
Well, yes.
Also, it doesn't scale with upgraded Bobbery. It just stays the same.
It doesn't scale with anything.
No. It doesn't scale with charges. It doesn't scale with attack power. What is Bomb Squad?
If Bomb Squad scaled with Mega Rush V, he would be one of the
Yes.
strongest partners.
Oh my god, that'd be so crazy.
He'd be insane. He would
Like,
actually be
imagine
insane.
you throw the bombs, and then by the time they explode, you need to be in peril for them to get their attack power. That'd be so cool for
Yeah,
setups.
it'd be fucking sick.
But sadly,
So fun to use, but
Bomb Squad is just 3 damage, non-piercing.
He is the second best tank,
Oh, pretty strong.
just for having 40 HP. That's a lot of damage to take.
That's true.
So that is nice.
But Flurry doesn't better because she heals. Whoops.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Because that's what people try to
Jeez.
do. That bombers are like, oh, look at this HP. Yeah, Flurry does it better because she heals.
Flurry only has 5 less HP too.
Yeah, after one of the blocks, she's better than Bomber.
But looks like she's better. So yeah, that's where it is. I'm gonna be honest and keep it real with y'all though. I do think Vivian is closer to Bobbery than you may think in terms of like. I don't think she's like far and above better than Bobbery. It's
And they kind of do similar things. I think it's pretty fight.
I think it's pretty close actually. Just saying. I do think Bobbery's worse though. Yeah, at the end of the day, I do think he's the worst. Normally a tier partner.
And it's funny because those are 2 partners a lot of people use in their casual play moves.
Me included.
Just like, you know, you explode and you do crazy damage to all enemies on the screen. Wow.
Me included. Yeah, definitely
me too.
love
I
Babal Bass.
love Bomber Bass. As a Bomber is extremely fun to use, but just extremely suboptimal in that class.
It's hard to compete with the tippity top.
I guess doing a
These
barrel
guys.
ball on fast can be kind of funny.
Yeah man, check out my Bobbery spotlight. I do some crazy shit with Bobbery. It's insane.
Barrel ball on fast?
Oh yeah, it's fucking bad. Like I do like 20 damage with it. It's so good. It's so good, man. Check it out, seriously. Go check out my Bobbery spotlight. It's one of the best ones.
Yeah, bro, like, go to Shadow Stunner and do this.
That's what I did.
All fast.
That's what I
Hell
did.
yeah.
That's what I did. It's crazy. It's crazy.
So it's super fun, but it's just so suboptimal. That 9MP is just no. It's extremely niche use. Is being at 10 FP, using Borrow Mass, and swapping somebody to go.
That's right.
But, like, just use it for stuff.
Okay, anyway. Okay, time to talk about
This one special tier we have, because this partner requires extra work to get, so, you know, don't bother.
Don't bother. Alright.
Let's talk about Mouse!
Favorite.
Love Slap. It pierces defense, and is 2 base and then 4 when she's on the right.
Yes.
That is pretty bad. Anything else works.
Also, her stylish just
yeah, Travis and Rogue, so the audience hates this. Extra star power.
and that's because the audience should rightfully use. So actually, it makes sense. Because Mouse sucks. Wait, we need to talk more about Love Slap. Love Slap?
Captain and Spidey.
Love Slap King is stupid as in Spidey. Spidey. But once it's even though it looks like Vivian touches with the spots, and then
Wait,
doesn't
we can't
touch.
punch Spidey. No, she can punch. She can punch Dark Black. It's just dragons. But they have Spidey above the head.
We can get a little punch points.
I don't think she can. It's like the same Dark thing as Mouse. He just forgot he can't punch. That means the X fists. The X punches.
Oh, that's right. Okay, maybe you're right. Maybe I'm tripping. Well, I don't think that changes it. But anyway, it looks like Bao should be able to hit spiders. She can't. She can't hit any enemy with electricity or fire.
The earliest time you get there is chapter 5. That's what are usually 8. Damage piercing move. It only hits Gremlin.
Because it's
It's only Gremlin as well. It's considered an average. Okay, so let's benefit of the doubt. One platform in chapter 5 at 3 base damage.
nothing. She can't even hit the bone pile, can she?
No, the search can't control this. She can damage by
Oh my fucking god.
the Cortex profile is from Spiky.
I hate this. I hate this. Get me out of here. I hate Bao so much.
Okay, no, listen, in chapter 5, you're good. You're good.
No, you can't. You can hit bombs. You can hit multiple bombs. Multiple bombs. That's it. Fuck Mouse.
You're good at both fuzzy beam.
Yeah,
Three down.
after you stomp them onto the ground with Mario. Because they're parabuzzies.
Then they have 0 defense.
They're parabuzzies, bro.
Oh yeah, that's also.
She can't even hit them until someone else does it for her.
And then they're also flipped.
Yes.
So at which point you have 0 defense.
Yes.
Anyway, you can hit cannons.
Okay, bro.
No. You could also go for Echo without any raised attack.
Or where's the transfer?
Okay. Chapter 6.
Oh,
Now,
you really
you know
want to do
how
the chapters, bro?
No, listen, what's left? Chapter 4.
There's your damage, dude.
Which, talk about who have 0 defense. The Pokies who are from Spiky. The Spiky Barabuzzies who she can't get with Wizard. Okay, that's that chapter. Chapter 7.
Ada facing her inner demons and the fact that she has psychic powers during cutscenes.
Hey, okay, hold on. You can put on 2 power pulses. Come on.
Into 1 left.
I'm just saying. You can do that, though. I'm just saying. Yes, I know.
Oh, I know. If you do a no FP run.
Stop it.
Oh, but then you have Bird.
And Thunder Ring and Shooting
That
Star.
was that last fight. Literally. It is kind of crazy.
Okay, can I talk about other moves now?
Alright, that's
Tease
enough.
sucks.
Oh, you want to skip Kiss? Alright,
We'll talk about that. I have a lot to say about Kiss Thief. Tease sucks. Not good. Actually, Tease is an ultra move, sorry. Smooch sucks.
Tease is super, dude.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. Tease sucks. It's what, does he hits everybody? Yeah, it's like, I mean, obviously,
Tease is a worse Adachi fog. How about that?
that's true, yes, because the Dizzy might not work on enemies, but the Dash Fog will always work on you.
Yes.
And then Smooch is literally 10 FP for 10 HP heal, and, like, don't get me wrong, Coop has a really dope video of Smooch healing different amounts of HP, but it still
with
sucks.
one Flower Saber P, you can make that 9, and then always swap into Barrel.
Stop.
I'm not stopping that.
That's so, you're, oh my god, okay.
What?
I know you can do that, but
Look, the numbers matter.
It's useless though still. It's still bad. Even though Coop has a really sick video with it. Coop has a really sick video of Switch being used, but it's still
But
really
that's
bad.
like, yeah, Smooch is 10 FP, but hey, the amount of HP you can actually gauge by the amount of the bar.
Yeah, which is
You
kind
can
of
actually
cool.
do some fun calculation stuff with that, but it's like so much extra work to get mouse in an extremely niche use.
Yes, exactly.
It's funny. And again, playing suboptimally is fun. But just trying to get through the game, no. Fuck Smooch. It is so bad. Like, that's a 10 FP super sure. What the fuck?
How does this puzzle even work? What kind of technology did this castle have?
Why?
Just you should know, in my spotlight, I wrote that Kiss Thief is worth it. Yeah, that was a long time ago.
No, Kiss Thief.
Now you're talking about Kiss Thief.
Yeah, Kiss Thief is actually, in my opinion, the only reason you should get battles. Purely for the off chance that enemy is holding a badge that you can actually steal from, you just can't steal from everything, and then you are guaranteed to get that badge. That is the only reason you should get now. Now explain why you get this.
Listen, okay, I'm gonna be real. I agree. It's probably worth picking her up on the off chance. However, the amount of RNG of an enemy holding a specific badge, the amount of times you'll actually see an enemy holding a badge or anything you actually want, and that's post getting mouse. So remember, you're going through like half the game without mouse. Okay? So all those badges and items you can't steal. After you get mouse, then you have to wait for an enemy to hold a badge or item that you want. The chance of that is so, like, I'm not gonna say it's like, you know, super slim, but it's not often. And I don't think it's often enough for Kiss Thief to be considered a good move. Like, obviously,
No,
you get the badge or the item, but Kiss Thief is not good. And it's not good because it needs something else. Like, you need other things to happen in order for Kiss Thief's utility to be good. And you can be like, yeah, but if an enemy has a thing, and it's like, no, shut up. The enemy has to have it first. Otherwise, you're never using Kiss Thief. You can go an entire fucking playthrough without using Kiss Thief. And it's like, is Kiss Thief still good? Like, I'm not gonna base a move. I'm not gonna say a move is good just on the off chance that an enemy is holding a dope badge or item that you want. Like,
But if they are, you'll be happy you have mouse.
sure, yeah, you'll be happy you have mouse, but like, that, but I still would say you could skip mouse if you would be hours off at Badger Island.
Yeah, you don't need a Badger Island.
Yeah.
It will be probably at that Badger Island. We don't need it.
And when I'm saying like a good badge, I'm talking like an extra Mega Rush or Mega Rush P, right?
Oh yeah.
Like an extra
That
power,
Hammer Bro is holding a Mega Rush P.
right? You know?
You
An extra,
want that Mega Rush.
an extra Power Plus, an extra All or Nothing. Like, there's like some pretty, you know, an extra Jumpman. Like, there's some badges you can get, right? And it's
No,
like,
extra Jumpman is not a thing.
that's what I'm saying. Sorry.
They get
Sorry,
off,
sorry.
but they don't hold them.
So what I'm saying is like, what it's pointing down to is like, not all the badges you can potentially steal are going to be good steals. You know, like if you're grabbing an extra Defense Plus, then no, you don't need an extra Defense Plus because Defense Plus is not good. I mean, we can get into that later, but like, what I'm saying is like generally speaking, like if you're gonna find like a Mega Rush or Mega Rush, it's like, oh shit, that I have now, so I can steal this. But the chance of that actually happening is super slim, and at the end of the day, you don't even need it because one Mega Rush is really all you need. Does that make Kiss Thief good?
I mean, but it is pretty fun to go to the shirt. To go to the Spaniard. And the Spaniard is 50 times. Get the lab and the money from it.
Also, also, they're not only making do have a chance of stealing something good.
Yeah,
But it's what? No, it's not.
maybe
Kiss
the
Thief is
probably has like a whole table of them. Like all that.
I think he
Of
does.
Super Mario files.
He does.
So go check it out.
You should check it out. It's amazing. But it's also 5 FP. 5 FP.
Biggest thing is I just use.
Yes. What?
No.
Wait, what? Oh, sorry. It's not.
Yeah,
once
Jesus
again.
Christ.
Sorry, I'm once again thinking of Infinite Fit. I've been playing a lot of Infinite Fit. I'm sorry. It's 2 FP. It's 2. I'm sorry, but that's still not worth it.
Well, if you're at 3 FP, you can use that one
Stop.
to be at 1, and then you can point swap. Now
Stop.
Arrows.
Stop.
Arrows. Arrows out.
No. No.
That's
Stop.
a 9 damage.
No.
1 damage over a pattern to 1 damage piercing. That's great against multi.
No. It's just like, oh, Steve is not good.
Also, 9 increase 25.
So, bottom line, Steve, when you play a badge, you're happy you had it. You're happy you had the move. But it does not make it good.
I have a great comparison that people who are watching this video probably won't care about, but it's kind of like feeling your thieves in Fire Emblem GBA games. You only do it when an enemy happens to be holding an item on Steam. The rest of the game don't feel them because they're not gonna like give you any combat utility, and that's fine. She does give you combat utility, but in the off chance there's the thing you want to get, hey, it's not used there.
She is the worst partner in the game.
Easily.
Easily. There's a giant chasm. No, I don't think.
Where'd she go, Captain?
Goodbye, Mouse.
Somewhere where she belongs?
Yes, everybody see the man in the trash bin.
Boy,
I really love that you're doing this live on the video, but the power of
Where's she going? Oh no! Where's she going, Captain? Oh no!
I wonder if I can rocket launch her.
Oh no, shit. Yeah, alright. And then we did just kind of
Oh, come on.
Oh my god, dude.
This is the line of the game.
That's right.
So, when a garbage truck comes, team back with garbage truck.
There's no fucking way, dude.
Oh, he's looking for badges in the trash, right?
Oh my fucking god, dude.
Then we'll have the Don't Bothers again.
Oh my god, dude.
It's covering Vivian, but that's fine. I'll sleep by 11. You can do it like this, because I'll sleep The only partners you need are right there. Those three.
Oh my god, dude, stop
There
it,
you
stop
go.
it, stop it. Put it away.
All
This guy.
there we go.
Oh,
Alright, that's our tier list.
oh man.
Cool.
Once you get the partner that you want, mouse scrolls. So, even there, she's just an annoyance.
What the fuck, dude? Okay, that's not a criteria here.
No, you have this nice sleek partner menu in battle until the mouse joins. And then suddenly it scrolls.
That's so funny, dude. Actually,
She's such an average
I never realized that actually.
Alright, that's it. Now you know that you only need Yoshi well, a little bit of Goose. And
And just remember, you can use any of these partners to great
Oh, yeah.
effect. It doesn't even matter, but you'll see better
Just
results
speed things up.
with top partners.
see faster results usually.
You can use whatever the fuck you want. No one will judge. I won't judge you for using Vivian's property, honestly.
People judge you if you say like Bobbery is an 18 point.
Well, sure, I'll judge you for that, but I won't judge you for using. There's no shame.
Not for using, but for saying.
At the end of the day, all the partners are dope. Some are just better than others.
Wait, all the partners are doing?
Yeah, some are just better than others. Hey, look. Oh my god.
I don't think so.
I like Mouse as a character. Hello?
Oh yeah, wow. Okay, so let's rank them as their character now.
No, we're not doing that.
By the way, this being on
Okay. It is actually funny, so I would recommend trying out these ones. It is fun.
I mean, also works on
Ooh, gunpowder.
Alright. That's it. Thank you. Okay, now you know our opinions on the partners.
Yeah.
Maybe there's more to follow. Like this tier list, why stuff just us talking about Paper Mario. Who knows?
It's our first time ever doing a tier list together, right? It's good.
I don't think you guys have one to put Bobbery above it.
It's just news. A momentary lapse of judgment. Alright?
I know.
Please forgive me. Sometimes I have these
Maybe just me, does that?
No, that'll never be a thing.
I think in an average playthrough, I'll use Ball Fast more than kids.
Absolutely.
But bye, everyone.
Bye!
Enjoy playing Paper Mario any way you want to.
Exactly. Don't play it,
Don't play Stickers Farm.
Oh my god.
Usually the stickers are barbecues.
Our partners is
Is there anything here worth getting? I don't think so. Oh, there's this. Forgot what's in here. A ruby. Useless. Waste of time. Dang it. Leon, or Ada, or whatever. Literally no need for this anymore. Look. Well, I guess I still need this open.
Ahí está.
Imposible. Whoa, what the fuck? Damn, chapters are taking longer.
With another epic tier list. But this time for Paper Mario 64. Welcome. Stop! Jesus Christ, Discord really made that sound weird.
It'll sound
It
great.
sounded like a baby, or it's just like, ah! Anyway, we're gonna rate all the partners like we did for T2ID. But this time for Paper Mario 64.
People really like the T2ID one, so
It really popped off and it
Yeah.
surprised me. And I did have the idea to do it for the 64 partners since people liked it. Hey, good. We're gonna rate them purely on battle performance, on like optimal level play. It's not gonna be like a casual list. If you wanna up your game in Paper Mario 64, try to follow this list. You can play however you want. I love playing casually, using Bombette and exploding everyone. But if you want to lower your FP usage a bit, hey, listen to this list.
just want to make this clear like last time. This list is not a Bible. All this list is doing is giving you an idea of like as you get better at this game, what you're going to see crop up, like what is good and what is inefficient. It doesn't mean you need to play efficiently. You can have 60 FP and spam Mega Bomb all you want. And it doesn't make you any worse a person for doing that, but this list will not be reflecting that kind of stuff. We will be talking about how to be optimal with these partners.
Yeah.
We're doing it in list format, right? Like just a 1, 2, 3,
Yes,
4.
I'll show
okay.
you what I have. What
Okay.
I have.
So
because I don't.
I want to make this a big distinction. I have a pretty strong opinion about 64 partners and how they're like how they relate to each other combat wise. So
Yes.
we're gonna do this list format, but I just want to tell you right now that the way these partners work is there's the big three and then there's everybody else. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll explain this more as we like get into it, but when I rate these partners, it's like the big three all have pretty specific uses and they're all very good.
Yes.
And then all the rest of them have their uses, but they're all around the same to me, like in terms of combat viability. So when you look at this list, if you were like, yeah, I think this one in the big three is better than another one in the big three, or the bottom, or all the rest, they're like this one's at the top of that, and this one's at the bottom. Like it doesn't really matter.
There's
I'll get it.
wiggle room.
Yeah,
in this one.
I'll get into it. And that may have sounded really confusing, so I'm sorry if I confused you, but
No.
I will explain what I mean as we get into it.
Definitely. I think you can explain it pretty simply by saying it's actually really hard to accurately rate 64 partners compared to T2ID.
Yes, I would agree.
Because in 64, partners actually have a partner role. The amount of things they can do is so much more limited compared to T2ID. They don't have badges, and they can't use items. They literally have their attacks, and that is it.
Which does make it
That's
hard.
what you're gonna base your rating off.
Yep.
Like, besides a couple of partners, like Cap said, they have, like, you know, a very distinguishing thing about them. Like, the one ability that, like, is so good.
Yes.
Those will be rated, obviously, the highest. But then the other ones are, like, kind of interchangeable depending on how you feel.
Yes, that's exactly what I was trying to say.
And then also, there's no endgame, challenge, or gauntlet in 64, so it's also really hard to, like, base their utility on that.
Like, really all you've got is Toad Town Dojo, and that's so short.
Yeah, and at that point, like, do we also take availability into account?
Yeah, I mean, I think for some of them,
We must, right? Because,
You have
like,
to.
there's no endgame challenge, you might as well.
yes,
take
would
availability
agree.
into
Yes,
account.
would agree.
So,
Although I will say that availability is not like a super heavy weighted
it's not huge.
thing, but it is something to consider. Like, you shouldn't just completely toss it aside. It's something to consider.
Yeah, so, I mean, again, this will be a very hard tier list, and all ratings past the top 3, even in the top 3,
Yes.
are super interchangeable.
Yes.
We're just gonna talk about this partner excels at this thing at this moment. So you know what? Make your own tier list. It's
Yes.
like 64 is actually really hard
Yeah, it is really hard.
to rate, not as a game. And then one more thing. Again, we'll talk about it when we rate the partners themselves. Partner utility also really depends on certain skills the player may or may not have.
I already
Depending
know
how
what this guy's
well you
talking
pull
about.
off those action commands makes some partners more or less useful.
True.
Mainly mashing.
True. Yeah, we'll get there when we get
it's-
there.
I'm telling you, 64 is such a different beast compared
Okay.
to T2ID.
So I don't know if we should just like go in partner order then. We should probably go from 1 to 7, right?
Oh, you want to do it like that?
Well, I mean, otherwise I think it might. I think it might be better. Yes.
I don't think so, because we might differ in opinions and change around, right?
Okay. Well, then let's do it.
And like we
By part-
start with obviously
What? Gumario? Oh my guy.
it's
Just
him. It's
let him-
Mario.
let him-
And I feel like we
let him
we
float
can
in
do
the
it like
air.
this.
Okay.
We'll put him on the top, and then we'll move them down as more partners come in, right?
Oh, sure, we could do that.
But like, I don't know. We can also say like he doesn't belong in the top 3, right?
Put him at 4, bro.
Yeah. We'll start by putting him at 4 because he's not getting in the top 3.
Yes.
Goombario is fine. And I think some people might be like, wait, but you thought Goombella was the best because she had, like, multi-bonk. What's up with that? Goombario even has a charge. Shouldn't he be amazing? Well, no, because, like, the reason Goombella is really good because there's so many other ways to raise her attack power. Goombario literally has the charge, and that's it.
Yes.
So you're wasting turns just to get his attack power up, to do one multi-bonk.
Yep. So Goombario suffers really heavily from this charge thing. His charge is +2. So
And it only
thinking,
becomes useful when he's ultra rank.
if you think about it, yeah. So if you think about charge, it's +2. If you head bonk twice,
It's same damage.
you do the same damage as a charged head bonk. So, unless an enemy has insano defense, which no enemy in 64 really has, that you probably can't just kill with Mario, charge is literally useless on Goombario until you hit multi-bonk. Now, Goombario does have the highest potential single target damage in the game. He does out-damage Watt in single target damage, even on 2 defense enemies with charge and multi-bonk, just because of the nature of multi-bonk. It's power bounce, which is amazing. So,
Yeah.
but
But listen,
the amount of turns.
Also, another reason why multi-bonk. Shush. Another reason why multi-bonk isn't nearly as good as power bounce. Like in T2ID, Goombella has multi-bonk, and it's the same as power bounce because Partner and Mario can fulfill the same purpose. In 64, they can't. In 64, Mario does everything. Mario's just the best. He's a monster.
It's
He's
true.
a menace to society. Oh yeah, the power bounce is infinitely better because Mario can have higher attack power up front, purely from badges. A partner can. So having a power bounce in your kit isn't as useful because Mario can just do it and do it better and faster.
It takes like three to I couldn't tell you about that. 3 to 5 turns to actively out damage Watt on a 2 defense enemy. Anything less than that, and Goombario skyrockets his damage against single target. The issue is that because Super Jump Charge and Jump Charge exist, again, like Fat Guy was saying, Mario's power bounce is kind of insane. He can hit higher numbers really quickly because he's got Mega Rush.
Yes.
Power Rush. So Mario hits these insane damage numbers super quick, and frankly, unless you're like doing something really restrictive, a lot of fights like kind of boil down to like 3 to 6, 7 turn fights.
I mean, bosses?
Yeah, and
They
like
go by faster than that.
if you watch my VP only, like you'll see it. Some fights take a while. The issue with this charging Goombario strategy is that charge it's a lot of FP to use. Like you really drain your FP to get to the point that Mario can get to with Goombario. So most bosses don't usually have 1 defense. It's usually like 0.
It's
or
usually
2.
0, yeah.
And at that point, why not just use bow? you probably are getting more mileage out of with Fan Smack for the bigger burst damage over like 3 or 4 turns compared to charging and then having to use multi-bonk. That's kind of where Goombario sits for me. But there's no denying that Goombario can deal the highest damage of any partner to a single target. It just
It
takes
also kind of sucks that he has an empty attack slot, basically.
because
Where it's like he loses 1 attack compared to other partners purely because he has Tattle.
Yeah, and then, the thing is, Goombella's Tattle actually has a use because you can do things with it
Yeah,
based on T2ID's battle system.
literally does nothing.
In this game, it literally does nothing, which is really sad. But that's the way it is. If I'm being honest, this is probably where Goombario is going to stay. I do think
He might, purely because of his
I
3-3, which is solid.
at this current moment, I think Goombario might be the best of all the rest of the partners instead of the
Yeah.
big 3.
We'll talk about it more.
Because his main competition is Watt, Watt and Bo, in my opinion. In terms of like damage, because that's all he is. He's a damage dealer, so you're using him to deal damage. One thing I will say is part of the reason why I think he's here instead of lower is because I actually think upgrading him in Chapter 2 is actually super good and really slept on, and something I slept on. Like,
We'll talk about that more because I disagree with that. Go ahead.
No. I was just saying. I think his 4 damage head bonk is way more
It's good.
efficient than Derek Carey's 6 damage, 3 FP shell shot. We'll talk about it
when we see those partners. Like, Goombario kind of stays the same throughout the entire game. He does what he does.
I will say
He
that
doesn't become better or
one thing I will say is that a lot of people. I don't know if this is just like a general consensus, but a lot of people think Goombario is absolute trash.
I think he might become lower, but again, it's gonna be hard to rate because mashing action. I'm telling you, it's gonna be super hard to get.
All right. Let's just move on to the next partner. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I was just gonna say a lot of people think Goombario is really bad. I just don't know if I really like. If someone thinks Goombario is the worst, I'm not gonna be like, yeah, that's wrong. But it's just like, wow, that they think that he has absolutely no use when he does have the highest potential single damage in the entire game in terms of partners.
Yes.
All right, moving on.
It's your boy. Or they don't like each other.
Oh, that's right. They don't like each other.
Well, I don't know. Goombario just doesn't like Cooper.
Man, what a jealous guy.
If you were able to raise his attack power, he would be rated like Coops. We're just like, wow, screen nuke for grounded enemies. Shell toss, it's whatever. It's a hammer. It's really not that good. Power shell? I want to say upgrading Cooper in Chapter 2 is the way to go. Because 1, Power Shell becomes 3. At that point, a Power Shell and a Quake kills pretty much everything for 5 FP in that chapter, right?
Not Stone Chomps, but
I think it does. Don't they have 4 HP?
oh, does it kill Stone Chomps? Yo,
I think it does because they have 4 HP and
they have 1 defense, right? Not 2. Maybe I think they have. I've never considered upgrading Cooper in Chapter 2.
But to be fair, like,
But what you're saying makes a lot of sense.
yeah, they have 4 HP and 1 defense, so it kills them.
That's crazy. I
Because a lot
never,
of people,
never thought about
let's
that.
get her in. Because like all these partners, you get them so close to each other. Jesus Christ.
Oh, she's so cute. Look at her.
This is gonna be such a disjointed tier list.
It's okay. I'm just gonna make it clear. Usually, I upgrade Bombette. I usually just power bomb.
Yeah, because
Stone
of
Chomps.
ease of use, right?
I just never considered Cooper, I guess. But like, what you're
6 FP power bomb.
yeah, I guess it's 1 FP more than Quick Hammer plus Power Shell.
Yeah,
Just never thought of it.
a lot of people would upgrade Bombette because power bomb is like, grounded enemy nuke and they all die for 6 FP. Hey, that's not that bad. But the combo of Cooper and Quake is better because Quake is only 2 FP in 64. And you also get Dizzy Shell. And I'm just gonna say it, mashing moves are extremely hard to rate because I can mash what the game considers a 50% to pretty much full 100%, which is complete bullshit. I get that. But like, how do you even rate Dizzy Shell as a move then?
I mean, some
Dizzy
enemies
Shell,
are.
for me, is like one of the best moves in the game.
There's no way, bro. Even if you can mash to 100, it's still like inefficient and sucks. There's no way. There's no way, bro. You can just attack them with Mario and kill them with Power Shell. Why Dizzy Shell? Unless you're bad.
If you don't want to take damage.
You don't need to take damage if you got high enough attack power. You can literally parry multi-bounce and Power Shell probably everything.
I think Cooper might be above Goombario.
No, man. He has no use for bosses. All he's good for is normal fights.
Does Goombario have use for bosses?
I'm just saying, he's got more use than Cooper does. He can out damage what? What do you mean? If you've got the FP, if you've got 10, 15 FP to front it, you can kill a boss a little faster than with Watt. Especially if they have no defense.
How much weight do you give to bosses compared to regular enemies?
I would say I'm definitely
if you're
more
just playing the game.
I mean, I definitely give a little more weight to bosses, but I don't think if a partner has no use in one of them, it can't be higher than a partner that can be used for both, in my opinion. I will say though that Fire Shell is pretty good for Chapter 7.
Yeah, here's another thing. Like, some people are like, but no, Screen Hook Bombette. Fire Shell is literally just a better Power Bomb. It does the exact same thing, except on fire enemies, but like, those are so few and far between.
Well, it doesn't do as much damage as Power Bomb.
It does.
No. It doesn't? No, it does 6, and Power Bomb does 7 at Ultra.
Oh,
Sorry, man.
sorry. I'm very sorry.
Sorry, man.
Oops.
Oops.
Fun.
Yeah, I don't know if I...
Mario above Cooper then?
I would put Goombario above Cooper, but again, like I was said in the beginning, like it's like these partners are they're outclassed by the big three. So it's like, where are you really putting them? Like, how really good are they?
They're also
really?
kind of outclassed by Mario, you know.
Well, yeah, all the partners are outclassed by Mario, so
Yeah.
that's not as big of a factor, in my opinion. But the thing is,
Well,
like,
that's the thing.
it's not like
Top
you're.
three
It's not
have
like.
something that can make Mario better.
Yes, but it's
That's
not like.
they're better.
I mean, the thing is, like, it's not like you're gonna go around screen clearing with multi-bounce and tidal wave forever. Like, that's too much FP. Like, Power Shell is a much more efficient choice.
Yeah.
You know, and like, if you've got Localester, Spiny Surge is a more FP efficient choice. Yes, it's less FP. Like
More damage?
yeah, but strictly speaking, if Mario's dealing at Ultra Rank, Mario's got 3 plus 2 power pluses, 5 plus all or nothing, 6 plus multi plus Mega Rush 10. So like, you're dealing 14 damage to no defense enemies. How many enemies in the game have 14 health?
Jeez, you're putting me on the spot.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Mario can literally, you multi-bounce with Mario, you can even Star Storm with Mario. 7 damage plus 4, 11. How many enemies have 11 health? That when you're not hitting like Chapter 8, Chapter 7, bro, like, he's fine.
And this is why
it's less
rating
FP.
partners in 64 is
It's
so
less
hard.
FP than Tidal Wave. I'm just saying.
Wait, Tidal Wave is 6.
Spiny Surge is 4.
And Spiny Surge is 4, yes.
It's less FP.
If you're not gonna have Mario use FP, yes.
Well, yeah. Or, I mean, even that, with multi-bounce.
Like, what you're saying is this, and then Bombette below that?
Right now, for now, yeah. So the issue with Bombette is that while she has
Huge FP thing.
yeah, it's just a huge FP sink, and I feel like Power Bomb just doesn't hit as many enemies as you think. Like Bomb can't hit Tubba Blubba on that stupid little platform.
The heart, you mean?
Yeah, the heart. Like, come on, man.
Oh, I didn't know Tubba's heart was such a recurring enemy.
I'm just saying, bro. Like, she can't. How can Bombette not bomb that or power bomb that, bro? It's just like, it's so frustrating. I think it's such a negative for her. Like,
well, I can give another negative
You can-
for Bombette.
oh, sure.
The second you get Parakarry, she's outclassed.
Yes. Facts.
Shell Shot is just a better bomb.
Yes. Oh,
In
don't worry.
every way.
Oh, we'll get to that. Don't worry, man. We'll get to that.
Same FP, but on any enemy, and like Spiky doesn't matter, any enemy.
Yes.
So Parakarry is just a better Bombette the second you get him.
Yes. Facts.
And that's even before upgrading.
Facts. Bro, I think you missed a platform.
No, somebody's gonna be down here.
Oh my god.
This is from Mario Party 3, and there's only 7 spots.
Oh, that's so interesting. So yeah, the issue, I mean, Bombette's a big FP sink. Parakarry, aerial. He has an aerial power bomb for 1 less damage in air raid. It's like he's basically just a better Bombette.
Yep.
Unfortunately, Bombette. I love Bombette. She's my favorite partner, but she sucks.
She just explodes and does big damage for big F.
If Bomb acting like Hammer, like having Hammer targeting is really bad, like she can only hit the frontmost enemy, which is fine for bosses, but some bosses go into the air and some of them go on a stupid little platform that looks like it should be bombed, but it can't. Any enemy that has 2 defense, why would you not just use SWAT?
Skydive is a better body slam. Shell shot is a better bomb. Airlift is useless.
Yes.
Whatever. Air raid, it's not good, but it's fine.
It's serviceable.
It is serviceable.
But it is outclassed by Tidal Wave.
Well, we'll talk about that later. It technically is. Technically.
Well, that's what we're talking about here.
Yeah, it's interesting because there's so much less to talk about with these guys.
Well, yeah, because there's only so much. And Cooper has one redeeming... The only reason I'm putting Cooper above Parrot Carry is because Cooper has one redeeming moment in Chapter 7. Where Fire Shell... Well, even in Chapter 8 a little too. Where Fire Shell... No, I think it's only explosions. Well, either way, he has he gets a fair amount of...
Bones, yes, Fire Shell does 16 damage to Dry
Oh,
Bones.
Fire Shell does. Okay, he has he has these really like niche uses against these normal fights where like he just completely obliterates them, and you don't need to invest as much attack into Mario to do it.
Nope.
Which is nice. Maybe I would put Cooper above Mario. I don't know.
Well,
I'm
why
just
change of heart, dude?
Well, I'm just thinking about like all like the forced fights you have to do, and like
Yes.
Cooper is like really good for most of them. Let's just go.
Unless Mario's gonna peril nuke a battle.
I don't even know if he needs. I'm
Usually-
thinking about it now. I don't even know if he needs to Paro nuke with Cooper.
No, with Cooper he doesn't.
Did I say Coops? I'm sorry if I said Coops earlier. I think I might have said Coops.
I think Cooper just allows you to like do that little bit extra damage, and most enemies are grounded anyway. Most,
It's
not
the
all, of
FP cost of Power Shell that really helps him.
Yes,
And Fire Shell being 6 is terrible.
it's 5, but hey,
Oh, it's 5? Oh, that's even better.
it's 3, 4, 5 for Cooper.
No,
3 for Power Shell.
I'm sorry.
4 for Dizzy Shell. 5
Oh.
for Fire Shell.
dang, that's pretty nice.
So would Fire Shell not be better than Power Bomb then?
Yes, it would be better than Power Bomb.
So there you go.
Well, I mean, it's...
Honestly, I
Wait.
Cooper above Goombario.
Wait. Bombette is 7 damage for 6, and Cooper is 6 for 5, so it's like
Yes.
basically the same. The only reason Fire Shell's better is because you can use it in Chapter 7 and 8. By the way, fun fact, Crystal King has 2 defense and is actually weak to fire, but the 2 defense is still factored, so Fire Shell literally just does the same damage it would normally, which kind of sucks.
Yeah, Fire Shell does 6 damage to Crystal King.
Which really sucks. It should do 8. I don't know what's going on. It should do 8. Sag.
Just use Fire Flower against Crystal King. Does 5.
Bro, I need to do a strat with that. Hello?
Come on.
I haven't done that. Oh my god, that's amazing.
Wow.
I've never bothered to use Fire Flower against him. Oh
you know
man.
Pokies are weak to Fire Flower?
I did.
Okay. So can I put Cooper above Goombario? The way I'm feeling
yeah, just do
I
it,
really
bro.
want to say Cooper
Just
is
do
better
it,
than
bro.
Goombario.
It's fine. I'm not gonna really.
Yeah, I mean, again, that is the issue in 64. It's
Just
like,
put him above Goombario,
you
bro.
can
It's
actually
fine.
just use whoever.
I'm gonna get to. Once we finish the list, I'm gonna explain why it doesn't really matter in the end. Just put him above Goom. Sorry, Goom. It's fine.
Goombario, look, he's upset.
He is upset. He's like, what the hell? Why am I below this guy? Oh my god.
There we go.
Okay, is it time finally for a big 3 partner?
Oh, finally for a good partner?
Wait a minute, that's out of order, bro. What do you...
Fuck, I put...
Bro.
Oh,
Oh my god, technical difficulties.
no, it's fine. Look, it's Bo, everybody's favorite partner.
Alrighty, okay, so... I mean, there's no way you don't think she's the best, right?
There's no way
Do you think... I think she's the best.
I think Bo is definitely for, like, almost everything she does better than other partners. Her only weak point is defensive enemies, but at that point, like, even at that point, she has a use.
It's true.
Which is kind of crazy.
Yep. She always has use.
So yes, Bo is the best partner in 64 because she actually has things that make her stand out from other partners. First of all, Slap. It's the highest damaging move, along with Goombario.
Yes.
Sure, it's only 1 per hit, but still, most enemies are under defense, so it doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
Out of sight, And some people who watched our T2ID tier list might be very confused because we dunked on Veil. Listen, we didn't explain it that well in T2ID. In T2ID, what Veil does is it takes a turn from Vivian and a turn from Mario.
Yes.
What Out of Sight does, it takes Bo's current turn.
That's it.
And then the enemy attacks, you become visible again, and Mario can do something.
Yes.
So what that basically means is if you attack with Mario, then use Out of Sight, Mario gets a new turn. Because you're out of sight and enemies can't damage you. What that means is it's a 2 FP rally wink. That also makes you invisible. What the fuck?
Yes, it's actually amazing. Like, it's
so crazy.
So,
and like we said, this game is so Mario focused.
Yes.
If you can help Mario, you're automatically insanely good.
It's like a really classic use of Bo that you can't get of any other partner is power bounce after beginning in danger or peril, out of sight, power bounce. Usually that's enough to KO a lot of enemies, even if you've only got Mega Rush power in you. Like,
That's like usually good enough to kill a boss.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah. It's actually insane. The out of sight is a huge reason why Bo is where she is. I mean,
the fact that it's 2 FP.
yeah, it's
what
2
were they
FP.
thinking?
Yeah, it's actually insane. Like, one Flower Saver and it's 1 FP for
Oh, but
rally wing?
never out of sight before having attacked with Mario because you're literally throwing away one of his turns.
Yes, that is true. Yes, you have to do something with Mario first.
Yes.
It's just like that alone can get you out of some really key situations. Obviously, it's meant to be used for charge attacks, but like it's more than that. It's more than that. It's like you can beat so many bosses quickly with little FP and BP because of the low FP cost. I mean, you know, Master 3 can be beaten basically as soon as you get Bo because I would just say right after Chapter 3 because you have Mega Rush then. You could literally beat Master 3 at that point probably with good out of sight usage.
Yeah, and even without spamming repel gels.
Yeah,
At that point, I think you have like 2.
what she does for Mario is so insane. And on top of that, against any enemy with 0 defense, she has a 5 FP fan smack for 10 damage. 5 for 10 is not bad.
No partner can outdamage her on enemies with no defense.
No, Mario does with multi.
But okay, if he charges,
Yes, bro.
but that's using turns. Bo can do it in 1 turn.
I'm just saying, Bo has like the amount of turns it would take for Goombario to outdamage that is pretty high.
Also,
like-
doesn't make contact with enemies.
Yes, which is really nice because that is a weakness of hers. She can't slap fire enemies or spiky enemies, but fan
You can
smack
actually use her against Lava Piranha, which is pretty fun.
It's actually the best way to fight Lava Piranha. Don't need sushi, just use ice power. Anyway, that's like so. Yeah, out of sight is really Bo's main reason to be up here. The biggest reason is the amount of BP you save for going defense in order to just like get that big attack out of sight, big
I should
attack
contact
is
them.
usually like
How
really
did
worth
we
it. Like you can
contact
use
her?
so much less BP on defense because you can take that big hit, do your damage, out of sight, do your damage, and they're dead. It's great.
Also,
but it's
like,
not. It's not even
if you're
just that.
actually running around with Pearl Mario. You can just like multi-bounce out of sight, multi-bounce.
It's also also an insane.
FP, if you also have a Flower Saver.
Yes, like so as soon as you put on a flower finder, you're basically like instantly.
so you do 5 damage. Nice. Final last.
Now think, what if I could do that 5 damage without using FP? Enter one
Enter what?
who does 5 damage at Ultra for no FP and pierces all defense.
For example, I guess Crystal King, because I mean,
Crystal
you can't
King,
just
yeah.
base this on just final damage.
Oh, well, I know Crystal King. Any enemy with 2 defense.
Yes.
Why?
Once an enemy has more than 1 defense,
Not
one is
envy.
And I'm going to tell you right now, I rarely use SWAT to inflict paralysis, but it is one of the best statuses in the game. And like, all statuses are basically the same in 64, but paralysis, it's just like a higher chance to inflict. A lot of enemies are paralyzed for a little longer than like other ones besides making
There's
stop.
actually a weird hierarchy for statuses in 64. Unless an enemy is actively weak to a certain status, you can pretty much go sleep, dizzy, paralysis, stop, I think.
Stop's not the worst one though. You're reversing that, right?
Sleep is the worst,
Okay.
then it's
Yes.
dizzy,
Yes, okay.
then it's paralysis,
Then
and
stop.
then it's
Okay, you're good. That's where I was at. Just making sure. I was like, bro, stop cannot be the worst status.
That's a hierarchy of stats.
Yeah, stop is-
They all
stop
do
is
the
insane.
exact same thing. Unless an enemy is weak to status, that is what you can expect.
Stop is insane.
Electro Dash pierces all defense.
Yeah. And she can only not hit fiery enemies.
Power Shock is fine. It's 2 FP, so you
Yeah.
can just add a sight instead.
I mean, yeah. If you need to use Power Shock, it's serviceable.
Yeah, it's fine. It's really good. Well, I'm gonna say again, really good, quote unquote, because I can match the full against anti-guy.
Sure.
Guaranteed. He's at 60%. I can match the full. That's what it is. Turbo Charge is not super good, but it's nice because, you know, giving Mario attack power for
It's
power
got a
rounds,
niche.
why not?
It's usually pretty outclassed because you don't really need it. Like, you can just slap on another attack badge, or honestly, like, you're gonna get more damage out of sighting and just attacking again with Mario outright.
Yes.
I mean,
And then Mega Shock.
admittedly, it's very good. It's an AoE shock with I would say not like a terrible action command as long as you can mash. But I mean, I know it can be difficult-ish, but it's still like AoE paralysis is still kind of insane.
Like, it hits anything. Anything, anywhere.
So my thing with statuses, for the most part, is that statuses kind of has the same thing that is like an issue I have with like
Shell Shield?
with Shell Shield, is that like it's good, but if you're talking about like being efficient and KOing bosses as quickly as possible, or even enemies for that matter, like it's just a waste because usually you can KO them before the statuses run out. Like if you're statusing an enemy but before you have like a big boost in damage, you're literally dealing less damage over time. It's just taking longer. And I know
Challenge runs, I want to say statuses do perform better.
I would agree.
For example, they allow you to stall and like heal your star power. It's super slow, don't get me wrong. But it is a thing, they allow you to do.
Like, I'm not going to say that I'll never use a status against a boss or something, like, I definitely have. But what I'm trying to get at is that, like, if you've got your full suite of options available, and you're trying to, like, obliterate everything, you're never going to use a status to do it. Because you want to, it's just like T2ID, but you want to take damage. Even more so in 64, because Mario defensively is so much better in 64 than he is in TTYD. It's like, taking damage is necessary. Taking damage is necessary to get to peril. You don't have point swap with double dip to get to peril or danger easily. Like, you have to take damage. You have to let Mario get into peril first. So, like, statusing an enemy stops that, especially if you do it early. Now, if you status an enemy after Mario's in peril, you do you. Like, you're gonna destroy him. Yeah, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if they're afflicted, goodbye. It's GG. But, like, normally, you can just out of sight, and it'd be the same result. Or attack with the partner. Like, you usually don't need the paralysis, or the dizzy, or whatever. But it is there, and it can be used to 100% solidify a win if you're not confident in a block
Any
or
loadout
something.
just dies because paralysis usually is 3 or 4 turns.
Yeah, it's
Of
insane.
every enemy.
Yeah, it's actually insane.
But you're doing Smash, and again, for me it's like, yeah, obviously it's the best thing in the world because I matched the full. But I realize that's not safe for every player.
I want to make it clear, Watt's here solely because Electro Dash is that good. There's a reason why. You're gonna be like, how the fuck is Electro Dash the only thing putting Watt at number 2? I'm gonna tell you at the end. Just wait for it.
Maybe who would be better?
Than Watt?
Yeah.
I fear no man, but that thing. It scares me.
This one?
Oh my god, there it is! It's Sushi!
There she is.
There she is, the other big 3. And why is that?
I like how all the women are up top, and then Bombette is
No, Bombette!
man, I feel bad.
Nah, it's okay. She understands.
She does.
She understands her position.
Eric Carey doesn't like where he is, but
Nah,
Bombette
he's like, what the hell? How is Mario number 5? What? Mario's pissed. Cooper's happy to be at number 4.
he's happy that he's the highest guy.
And everyone else is, all the big 3 are like, yeah, we already know we're good, so we're just chilling up here. Okay, so Sushi, we just talked about how defensively Mario's pretty dang good. In this game, Sushi helps facilitate that with Water Block.
Also, she helps facilitate dumb calculation stuff to get Mario to peril in certain ways.
Yes.
Because she can give him 1 extra defense on turns she wants, and you can even decide how many turns he has that defense by failing the action command on purpose.
Also, I want to talk about, I talked about this earlier, but Parakarry makes Bomb useless. Squirt makes Shell Shot useless. Because it's literally Shell Shot, but it does better against fire enemies, so it's basically just a slightly better Shell Shot. Like, it's really funny to think about. Like, it just... Sushi, and if you think about it, Sushi has Tidal Wave, Parakarry has Air Raid. Like, Sushi just does everything Parakarry does, but a little better. Besides Skydive, being able to hit ceiling enemies.
Usually a partner base attack does 5 damage. It's the same for Sushi, it's just a 5 damage jump. It's fine.
It's fine.
Squirt is just the best PFP move.
It's the best
Because
yeah.
the Water Block is useful against, well, usually bosses. It just allows you to do peril calculation. It's always fun. Or just like negate all damage. If you need that 1 extra defense to make Mario take 0 damage, hey, awesome.
Yep.
It's good against Final Bowser. Well, I guess not really Final Bowser because it's a Star Wave.
I mean, yeah, but it does protect you against Star Wave, so it's not like the end of the world.
The Water Block is the only way to take 0 damage from Final Bowser.
Yes.
If you stack all the defense.
Yeah. Yes.
But you can just get rid of it with a Star Wave. And then the big one. I don't think it'll change Sushi's rating
I don't
at
either.
all, but I do want to get into it.
Sure.
And I know JD is on the edge of his seat right now, listening to this. Might be, if he even watches these. So, Tidal Wave.
Oh god.
I think the move is totally fine.
Yeah,
and
it's good.
it's the same with me as Air Raid.
Mm-hmm.
Air Raid does 6 damage up front.
Yep.
With an action command anybody can do full. Just with the stick a bit, boom, 6 damage across
Some people
the board.
really struggle with the bow, with that kind of like bow action command. But yes,
I know,
what
but
you're
at that
saying.
point, bow is even bad. So, like, that is still like intended, right? They didn't intend you to fail Parakarry's action command, right?
No, I don't think so.
For the longest time, let's talk about the time before we knew the thing, right?
Sure.
Tidal Wave is a move that generally, if you're just using your reaction time, you can probably get it to 6.
6, 7.
At that
I would
point-
say 6, 7.
No.
I don't know. I've seen some people get 7 pretty consistently, but
If you put, I mean, I guess if C down is on the button.
yeah.
I'm using a GameCube controller.
Yes, it's oh god. Tidal Wave is so much worse on a C stick than it is on a button.
Yes. At that point, you can say, okay, but at that point, just a better air raid anyway, because it's air raid with an element. So in some situations, it might be better
Bring the rocket
if there's a
launcher.
fire enemy. But then our good old friend JDS64 took out his blog, Super Mario Files. Is it even a blog? It's a website, actually.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's got a little of both. I would say.
Discovered, well, he looked into the code and exactly how Tidal Wave worked. And ever since he discovered how it works, he made this cool strategy called Cycle Mashing that he's an ambassador for, and he wants everybody to use and says it's really easy, and even made like a consistent strat you can use to get like 7 or 8 consistently, right?
I think I'm
That's
9.
really easy
Might have
to
been
do.
able to hit 9.
I've
yes.
never been able to do it. Also, I've never put in the effort to learn it. I probably should. There's also a way where if you actually get the timing down, there's a fast timing. You can pretty much get like 14 every time, right?
It's a little random. It's random. The consistent one is like 7 to 9. I'm pretty sure.
So if you can do that consistently,
Oh,
it's not
I
no
need
contest. Sushi kills any enemy loadout in the game.
Yeah, I mean she does have the high. She has potentially the highest AoE damage because Mega Bomb only does 7.
But it's
and also
very
I haven't
much
saved.
unintended,
God.
right?
Yeah,
Because if you were
And
to
then
say,
put on a
no,
safety
I can
save.
do that consistently, all the time, everywhere, I would say sushi is above 1.
sure. I think my biggest thing about Sushi
Let's
is that
save
if
here
you're
real quick.
Mario, if Mario's like using like Shooting Stars, Thunder Rages, Starstorm, or just like Quake Hammering, multi-bouncing, what have you. You don't actually need that much damage to beat loadouts. Like, again, it's still 6 FP, so it's actually more FP than to use a lower damage option that will still KO
Well, you
everything.
mean then to use multi-bounce as a side multi-bounce
Well, yeah, so it's like,
with the flower saver.
right, so maybe Watch should be number 3.
No, I don't think so, because then you're putting
Well, it
too much
does-
stock in
well,
cycle
it-
mashing.
it doesn't even-
actually being consistently 12 or higher.
No, I would say even at 7 to 9 it's
Something
pretty
needs
good.
to
but
give.
I know what you're saying. It's the same reason, I put Sushi number 3 for the same reason. I don't think
Yeah.
Tidal Wave,
I'll start a
is-
hand cannon for
even though it can be
now.
really strong, I don't think that's enough to stop it, to like bump her up because, again, like I just said, lower damage, cheaper FP options usually can cover. Most enemies do not have like 13 plus HP. Like even a Starstorm plus a Spiny Surge or Power Shell can be enough to one-round enemies, right?
Yeah,
so
usually, like, then at that point, Sushi would be beating the enemy on her own, but why is that even necessary?
but that's only for
Just
enemies
do it
with
Mario
less.
and the partner.
That's only for enemies with less than 10 HP. Even a multi-bounce plus a Spiny Surge is actually less FP than a Tidal Wave with one Flower Saber on.
Yep.
So
So, like, actually,
And, like,
doing
with
it
Power
two
Shell-
partners makes Flower Saver better, even though I think Flower Saver in 64 is usually pretty unnecessary.
yeah,
because
but it's just like
if you level up a bit, it's like you're gonna upgrade FP at some point, right?
Yes, I'm just saying that. Like it's there as like a way, like just as a comparison. Even multi-bounce plus Spiny Surge is the same amount of FP as Tidal Wave. So I'm just saying like it's only good if Sushi is the one literally one-rounding on her own. Otherwise, it's more FP.
And if you're confident in doing 12 or higher,
Yeah, which I'm not gonna assume. So I would assume the 7 to 9 for sure, consistent.
I know it's become a bit of a joke, but I just don't like cycle mashing.
I mean, it's fine. Dude, if you put in the work, it's fine. But I wouldn't even, again, I just don't think it's necessary. The reason why Sushi is above everybody else is because Water Block plus basically a Shell Shot, which is very good.
Again, the top partners just give Mario more of an edge.
And it's not like 6 damage on Tidal Wave is bad, you know? Like, you could just do it normally and do 6 damage and be fine.
But usually you don't need the 6 damage.
No, you don't. Which is why you're not really using Air Raid either, you know? I do also want to point out that you do not need to upgrade Sushi in the Volcano at all from Lava Corona. It's entirely unnecessary, unless you're not using Ice Power. You really do not need Sushi. You can just use Bow, deal more damage.
Well, again, that's another issue in 64. Like, anything a partner can do, Mario can do better.
Yes, it's a problem.
So, like, does it matter in the end?
Yes!
The only partner where you could say it does matter is Bo.
Well, that's the way it is. That's
Because
why
the one
she's...
thing Mario cannot do consistently is make himself invincible.
That's why she's
Because
number
there's a
one,
limited
man.
amount of repel gels.
Well,
Oinks.
I'm just saying.
No, shut
it's
up.
not like
That
it's,
is, okay, listen to me, Cappy. Little Oinks is not optimal play. That is saying batch grinding in T2ID
no,
is optimal play.
I agree with you. I'm just saying. You can't say they're limited.
Hand cannon
But
right
you don't
Oh,
need
but
it.
they are. Come now.
So yeah, basically the big three: Bo, Watt, Sushi, everybody else. And like I said before we get to the last partner, again, I just want to reiterate that you could put Bo, Watt, or Sushi in any order, and I literally would not argue with you. Maybe Sushi number 1 and Bo number 3 I would argue, but anything else, like, you could put Watt above Bo, and it's not like I'm gonna be like, you're wrong, because,
No, I think
No.
that one is pretty clear, though.
I don't know.
Like, the Bo is clearly the best part of the game.
I mean,
There's no contest.
I agree with you,
Honestly.
but I wouldn't argue. I wouldn't argue to someone put Watt above Bo.
Like, honestly, all the rest, I'm like, fine, whatever. But Bo clearly has an edge has a thing that no other partner can do.
I mean, I agree with you, but I'm just
That's
saying.
UFB Invincible Rally Link, what the fuck?
I'm just saying I wouldn't argue if someone put Watt above Bo or something.
That's the one. Like, if somebody's like, I think Goombario is better than Watt, I'd be like, yeah, sure, fucking whatever.
Wow, bro.
No, Bo.
Why is he peeking up, bro?
Who's?
Actually, I can still use the rocket launcher.
I see him. Bring him up.
One-shot Verdugo.
He's gonna...
Oh, look at
There he
that, dude. He's winning. He's
ready
winning.
to knock somebody off their pedestal.
That's
But
right.
There will be a chapter break
Or
after.
multiple people.
Okay, so Locke
Let's keep
Lester
the section
is a
on
really
that,
interesting
so.
partner who I do think suffers a bit from being the last partner you get.
Yes,
If you had
the
Spiny
end of chapter
Surge,
6.
if you had Spiny Surge a bit earlier, I do feel like you could really like mess up some loadouts with that alone.
Yep, that's an early Mega Bomb.
But to be
Well, again, his base move is just 5 against any enemy.
However-
Actually, against any enemy, so, hey.
it is the one base move that can hit literally every single enemy in the game without question. Not that that matters.
Spiny Surge is a 4 FP, 4 damage Mega Bomb.
Yes, it's actually not bad. I used to think it sucked. Like
I
used to
don't
think,
like this 4 FP, but I know why it is, because otherwise, like, Power Shell is 3
Yeah, exactly.
FP for grounded enemies,
Right,
and
it'd
also
be-
4 damage.
It'd be like, yeah. Like, I used to think Spiny Surge was absolutely terrible, but I've definitely changed my tune. Like, I think Spiny Surge is pretty good as, like, a cleanup move. And the only issue, again, is that, like, what is he cleaning up? Because enemies are pretty strong in 7 and 8, especially 8, where there's a lot of defense. And Fire Shell plus Power Bomb plus Tidal Wave is probably better. But Chapter 7, you could definitely get some use out of.
Again, he belongs in, like, the bottom partners, so, again, you're super interchangeable.
So it's tough. Cloud9 is interesting because it's literally better than all 3 luck badges combined.
Yes, let's talk about that. And you need to be in danger for that.
Yeah.
If you have Close Call, Pretty Lucky, and Lucky Day equipped, which is 11 BP,
Yes.
Mario avoids attacks like
It's a 50-50.
almost 50% of the time.
Essentially, it's a
Almost.
50-50.
It's not. It's like a 48%.
That's basically 50-50,
I think, okay, listen, I think it's actually a 48.1.
Alright, bro. It's
And Cloud9, there you don't have to be in danger from those calls reactive. A Cloud9 saves you the 11 BP and gives you 49.5 evasion rate.
Okay.
So it's more evasion. It's not that much more, but it's more, and it saves you 11 BP. We can talk about evasion. It's
Yeah, we
not
have to talk about
optimal, but I really like it. Like, it's actually not bad. Cloud9 is not bad.
It's not a bad game. It's just not
In a game where
necessary.
you're forced to take that.
It's just unnecessary.
Because usually in optimal play, you got your strat, and you don't need the evasion.
But it's also, like, if you really need to dodge one move with Cloud9, you could just out of sight.
Well, yeah.
I'm just saying, like, you could just out of sight. What I'm saying is, it's just largely unnecessary. Dodging 2 moves in a row, I mean, it's 50-50. It's not, like, super reliable. And it also can prevent you from getting into danger or peril faster if you use it at the beginning. You want to be taking that damage. So, ultimately, while it can be clutch, its clutchness is unnecessary.
It's not optimal. I have a soft spot for it, but in the grand scheme of things, you probably shouldn't be using it.
No. And then there's Hurricane, which...
I think Hurricane is actually really good.
yeah, but it's just spook.
No. And here's the thing. Hurricane, for me, is so much easier. Again, because of the mashing. I don't know, yeah, I guess you can just say it's just spook. I
And
guess
they're
we
both
should put
the
them on the same pedestal, right?
Stop it. They're both the same.
No, I mean,
Oh,
Hurricane
yes,
versus spook.
yes. They're like the same move, essentially.
Well, I don't know.
I think Hurricane works a little better.
Yeah, it probably does.
I mean, it is his ultimate, but it's
If
his...
you're trying to
but
knock the level up and you're
Ah,
trying to keep your HP low, then Hurricane is really good.
it's just worse Gale Force. That's the biggest issue for me.
Is
And...
it worse Gale Force?
yes, it doesn't give you experience, it's more FP, and it's his ultra rank move, bro.
Wait, hold up. You want experience?
Absolutely. Just objectively speaking, Gale Force is great because it gives you experience. Like, that's
Hold
not...
up. You're not trying to keep your HP at 10
Oh my
or
god.
15?
Oh my god, bro.
No,
That's...
actually, listen to me.
Wait. We haven't even discussed, like, trying to keep your stats down. I don't think that's something we should discuss because that's really difficult to like.
Well, I don't know if we're talking optimal play, and you're
But then
you're using Bo with like Peril/Danger Mario.
you're like avoiding so many enemies to not do that though, because like if you fight a lot of enemies, like even if you fight like if you skip only a few enemies, you're gonna be leveling up other stats. It's impossible unless you purposefully grind to level up FP and BP to max and half level up HP. There's just no way.
I think it's nice to have a move like Hurricane if you're getting real close to being forced to upgrade HP.
Sure, but I don't think that's really a big merit for it. You could do the same thing with Spook. So
That's true. I mean, again, not for me personally because his action command is easier. I mean, at that point, is Lackluster even that good?
No, his issue is availability. The availability actually kicks him a lot more than you'd think it would. Every other partner, you get pretty good point. You know, by chapter 5, you have everybody. Chapter 6, it's like, it's at the end of chapter 6 too. That's my biggest issue. If you got him at the beginning, it'd be a little better, right? but like, you do most of chapter 6 without him. And like,
He has a niche use against the boss of that chapter.
yeah, but you could just start Storm or Shooting Stars something.
Or Fireflower.
Or use those tough puffs to get into peril like a boss.
Or, you know, the classic chill out strat.
Or just chill out. I don't know, man. The thing is, like, I do think Spiny Surge is good. It's just, I think if I were to rate him right now, I'd probably be above Parakarry. I think Chapter 7 is really the only time where I'd be like, yeah, like, Lackluster definitely more usable than Parakarry. But then it's like,
You know what's missing with my head?
what?
You know, like, I'm thinking, like, yeah, you're bringing up a good point. But then my mind wanders to the actual monster of this game, Mario. And it's like, sure, you can use Spidey Surge, but you can also just have Mario kill things.
Well, I'm just saying, it's the cleanup. Because Mario can't, like, OHKO everything.
He can. Multi-bounce outside multi-bounce.
Yeah, but that still requires a partner.
Yes. And it's both FP.
I'm just saying.
FP is less of an issue in 64 because you're forced to upgrade at some point.
That is true.
This
Legitimately.
tier list is weird.
Dude, 64 partners are stupid. Just put them above Parakarry, bro.
Wait, hold up. Lackluster comes in,
Bombette definitely going down the bottom. Sorry, Bombette.
kicks Parakarry.
Sorry, Bombette.
Parakarry's like, oh no! But then he comes in and swoops up Bombette.
Oh my god,
And he's like, hey, let's airlift you down here, lady.
oh my god, what is happening?
And then he flies back up. He's like, hell yeah.
Jeez, those
And
sparks are very
Bombette's
hazardous.
fine with that.
Bombette's just a
Bombette's
ball of
fine.
positive energy.
That everybody else,
She's just happy that everybody gets a chance to shine.
yeah, she's such a nice lady. What's her character even? She's hot-headed, I think.
Hasta luego.
Yeah, she's like sassy.
Bruce is into her.
Fuck Bruce.
Oh, are you jealous?
Okay, this is the list. This is pretty good looking. It's a little different than what I ranked like a month ago.
No, but like the issue is again, the bottom 5 is like fucking whatever.
Okay, it's time to talk about why this ranking doesn't actually matter in the end. Here's why. We're gonna talk
Okay,
about
no, listen, actually one thing I think that would outclass this entire tier list is just making a 64 badge tier list.
it. Well, yeah, that would be good.
Because the badges are the true partners.
Oh my god.
No, go ahead.
The partners are just the badges we collected along the way. Okay, here it is. Bo has a really specific utility in Out of Sight. Looking at any other partner, what are you doing with them? You're dealing damage. That's all you're doing, right?
That's all they're doing.
Now take a
the
look
end of
at
the day.
all the FP costs and the damage they're dealing. You'll notice that most partners deal around the same amount of damage with very slight variations in FP cost. What that means is that, like, when we're talking about, like, damage you're dealing and FP cost, it's all super samey and relative for most of the partners. So it's like, you're picking your specific flavor depending on the situation. It's hard to say that you're going to use one more than the other all the time. And so at the end of the day, all these partners are doing is just dealing a little extra damage for Mario to do his thing. Even in boss battles, if I'm fighting a boss and I have to use bomb and I'm using Shell Shot or Squirt, unless the enemy's in the air, you can just sub for Bomb. And it's literally the same thing. In fact, I've done that. I've literally made a strategy, had Parakarry as the main damage dealer, because I like Shell Shot the best. Like, just personally, I like using Shell Shot because it's quick. And then I look at the strat and I'm like, oh shit, let's just slot in Bombette, because she'll do the exact same damage for the exact same FP, everything's the exact same. It's stupid that you can just do that, and it makes all these partners super samey, and at the end of the day, this ranking is super, like, weird, niche, clean-up situations that they're used for, because they can't do anything, like, really on their own like you can in T2ID. It's not like you're Mega Rush being a Yoshi stampeding every enemy and killing them, where Mario isn't even necessary, right? So,
that's why I started this tier list by saying that partners are so limited in this game.
Yes.
It's really hard to rate.
So that's why, at the end of the day, you really can use any partner you want. And, like, the only thing that's really going to make you more optimal is using Bo and Watt. What the fuck is happening? Because...
Hey, Bo, can you make me invisible for a turn? Thank you.
So Bo is, like, actually going to help you, like, pare down your BP and FP costs most of the time. Because you could deal massive damage twice without worrying about dying. And Watt is the queen of any defensive boss / enemy. And, like, I'm just talking bosses right now, but, like, any boss with 2 defense, you're just gonna use Watt, because it's 0 FP to do what Sushi, Parakarry, and Bombette can do. Even saying that sentence is dumb. It's like, it just doesn't matter.
Wacky.
I'm going to the randomizer for a second, even though it doesn't really matter, but, like, when I'm looking at the randomizer too, it's like, when I'm looking at Final Bowser, it's like, do I have Watt? And if I don't, which of Sushi, Parakarry, and Bombette has the lowest FP secondary move? That's what I'm going to use against Final Bowser. That's how
Fucking
samey.
randomizer
No, I'm just saying, like,
is
it's
so much more useful.
Well, I'm just saying, like, against Final Bowser in general, like, to drive home these partners deal the same damage for the same FP in vanilla. Like, you're just looking, like, in randomizer, I'm just looking for the lowest FP cost of those 3 if I don't have Watt. Otherwise, I'm using Watt. That's why Watt is where she is, because she literally outclasses Squirt, Shell Shot, and Bomb for no reason. She just does it. She just any late chapter boss with 2 defense, which is quite a bit, like Junior Troopa, Crystal King, Bowser, Final Bowser. Well, Bowser is one, but Final Bowser, like any like big defensive enemy, I'm just saying, like any of those enemies, it's like, especially bosses. Bosses is like really what I'm driving home here, is that the reason why Watt is so good is because she pierces that defense, and she's immediately the most useful against General Guy. And then it's only like 2 chapters where you don't really use her until you're using her again on Crystal King. So it's like, partners below the first 3 are all very samey, and you can use whatever
kind of samey.
You can use whatever partner you want in almost any situation, because the amount of situations where you could use 3 or 4 partners is a lot. There are a lot of situations that we've talked about, even in this list, where you could have been like, you hear us talking about a certain partner, and you're like, you could use this partner too, and you'd be correct. You'd be absolutely correct that you can use like 3 or 4 partners in a lot of situations. And that's why it's so tough to rank these guys, because you can use so many of them in so many different situations, and the only one where you can definitively say, in my opinion, that like you're really going to be using one over another is Bo for Out of Sight. Otherwise, it doesn't matter who you're using, really. That's my, 10-minute spiel on why all these partners are the same. It's super difficult to rank them, and that, like, I wholly expect a lot of people to look at this list and be like, yeah, I disagree with some of these. And
it matters extremely little.
Yeah, and it's totally valid to think that way, because, again, you can use multiple partners in multiple situations and come out just fine.
Like, the only reason Bombette is as low as she is because she's outclassed pretty much the second you get her. Because by the time people will be like, oh, Powerbomb, then the combination of Power Shell and Quake is already better.
Yes.
And Parakarry is already better with single target. So
yes.
Bombette is outclassed from start to finish, which is really super bad.
And the reason we have to go through like these minute FP differences, because Quake plus Power Shell is 5 FP compared to Bombette's 6.
What else are we gonna talk about?
It's the only way you can really rank the part. Like, it's the only way I feel like we can really rank these partners is to talk about like these minute efficiency details. Otherwise, they're all the same. And in fact, if you look at my partner list that I released a month ago, I have 2 tiers: S tier and A tier. S tier is the top 3. B tier is all the rest of them, because they're all the same.
Yep.
That's how I feel about it.
So use whoever you want to use, and then,
Exactly.
you know, Bo and Mario. They're extremely solid.
Yes, and that's it.
They're the power
That's-
couple of the
Oh, I
game.
just realized.
That's really all I feel. That's
There's a speedrun
that's
strat I can
really
use.
all I can say about the
Here.
partners in this game. But Bombette is my favorite. I love the bombs
Yeah, for 64, the
I'll
True
start
Stars
shotgun
show
for
and the
now.
badges.
and Star
If there
Powers.
were-
Hold on, bro. Don't forget chill out, man.
Mostly badges, though.
Okay, I'm done. Goodbye, friends.
No, but like, actually, I know I've said a lot, but the only thing I can say for sure is this Bo being the top. That's the only one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yep, that one's clear.
I mean, I would still separate the big three and the rest, but
I suppose, but like, at the end of the day, do you need what they have to offer?
sometimes you need Water Bulk.
Yeah, it's true. You can argue some calculations on stuff like
And
that.
Watt does deal the most damage to a team defensively.
Yeah.
So,
They have something other parties can.
and outclasses
Okay.
3 moves at the same time. I'm just saying, man. Electro Dash is wild. And it's one of the easiest action commands to do. If we're talking
Who
ease of
knows?
use.
Maybe in another year or two, we'll be like, no, we found super fun case uses for Spiny Surge.
I mean, yeah.
These loadouts in this chapter with like an easy Mario setup.
I
And then
do feel like 64
Who knows? Who knows?
That's
Whoa.
true. I do feel like
Luis
64 is meta has
at dialogue, if you somehow
really
manage to
T20s, but yeah. I mean, things are changing. I feel like Challenge Runners have really pushed like what
make the
is good,
armored
what's
guy
bad
first.
to different levels.
Nice.
to
I mean, I
varying
guess it's
levels
possible
to,
even without the rocket
really
launcher.
dope to see
There
actually.
is still the lava
Yeah,
pitfall
badges
mode thing.
would be an interesting talking point in this.
It would, but my opinions on that are very
Wild.
They're wild.
Well, to be fair, in 64 you also have the good badges and then all the rest.
They didn't believe him, but he
Very
only spoke the
valid
truth. That's
difference,
what they'll say about my 64 badge
It would be super
opinions.
useful.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty sure there's a hand grenade. Yep, there it is.
Alright. Anyway,
Okay,
bye again for
Bye.
like the 7th time.
bye, friend.
Okay.
Woman really shouldn't be doing this, but that's just me being sexist. But yeah, that definitely saved me a lot of time doing that. The infinite rocket launcher. Huh. I thought for sure I'd have 2 hand grenades by now. The heck? Whatever. Isn't there a save point close by? Yeah. Damn. Switching to the smaller scope for now. This is really wacky. should be Sancha, maybe. Well, current patch, 49 minutes. People are through with version 1. Oh,
Have
hey.
you ever found yourself playing Perfect Cherry Blossom Stage 4 and thought, man, how long is this stage?
Very
Well,
long.
I have. And as you can already tell, that thought didn't stop at this stage. Not waste any more time than I'm already planning to. So let's get to the point. How much time does every stage in the Windows era of Touhou take before you reach the boss? Before that though, an explanation of how exactly this is going to be done. I'll be going through Touhou 6 through 18. I'll be playing every stage up to the boss at least twice. The first time will be a standard shooting down the mid-bosses and skipping dialogue when possible. The second one will be delaying the mid-bosses as long as possible, letting all dialogue run into a see. Keep in mind that the point of the standard run isn't to see how large a difference the here will be. To see if there's any real difference to begin with. All stages will be played on normal. I'll be using each game's closest shot type with rainbow persuasion needles. The way timing begins varies by game. I'll be sure to mention it. Timing will always end the same way. Rainbow to shoot. For the sake of simplicity, the time recorded will only consist of the minutes and seconds. Lastly, I'll be selecting the stages with DH crack for a specific reason. Let me adjust my power to better replicate early stages, and I'll be using the invincibility and the live toggle for a number of stages. I'll explain when I get there. It should be everything, so let's actually get to the point. Starting off with the embodiment of Scarlet Temple. I can actually have a frame Rainbow is clearly visible
I'm
on
super
screen.
smart.
But there's not a lot to note about the standard playthroughs, so I'll just be giving the final times on those. Then when I get to the timeout runs, I'll explain the specifics or interesting bits I learned while doing this. Believe me, I found some real useless trivia over the course of this video. Okay, here we go. For stage 1, my time was 1 minute and 27 seconds. For stage 2, 1 minute and 39 seconds. For stage 3, 2 minutes and 6 seconds. For stage 4, 2 minutes and 58 seconds. For stage 5, 2 minutes and 12 seconds. For stage 6, 1 minute and 13 seconds. The total time came to 11 minutes and 35 seconds. I also did the extra stages in fun, but they won't be counted for the final time. For the extra stage, 3 minutes and 23 seconds. Now that we have those times,
correct.
let's look at the timeout runs.
My
Stage
stat,
1,
my average
time
run
was
is
1
always
minute
like 30
and 27
minutes and stuff.
seconds.
There's
The
no way it
mid-boss
can
is
beat
always going to be the main factor, and if the timings are different. With Rumia, she has no text and only has a
Kinda
single
want to
non-spell.
play
Time
embodiment
being
of
the same
Scarlet
here,
Devil
it
again
means that
now.
during the fight with Rumia, the stage is still continuing on. So where in the stage you end up after Rumia is gone can differ. Now here's something neat about stage 1 mid-bosses. Higher difficulties, they often have a spell card, which leads to health bars, more time to stall out with. Because of this, I thought it would be fun to time stages on Lunatic for the games this applies to. Interestingly, if Rumia's non is timed out, she won't use her spell card. So what I did was try to delay as close to 0 as possible before activating it. The final result of timing down both of Rumia's patterns on Lunatic was 1 minute and 27 seconds. Seems that no matter how you tackle the stage, the end result will always be the same. So admittedly, I already knew this about stage 1 from when I attempted my 4 run on every difficulty simultaneously. Moving on to stage 2, my time was 1 minute and 39 seconds. Much like Rumia, Daiose only has a single non, no text, and the stage advances while fighting her. For stage 3, 2 minutes and 29 seconds. Mei Ling has a spell card that can be skipped by timing out the non. The stage doesn't advance until she hits the screen. That regardless of how you go about it, Mei Ling's dialogue will happen. By the way, this is the main reason for using invincibility. It's much easier to shoot down a non as close to 0 seconds. You don't have to worry about dodging. For stage 4, 2 minutes and 58 seconds. Wakama is identical to Daiose. In other words, no effect on the stage. For stage 5, 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Sakuya enters the dialogue at a quick speed. Like the other 4, has a spell card that is skippable if you time out your non. The stage advances while fighting Sakuya. Hilariously, only timing out the mid-boss has her leave the screen, only to immediately come back and start the boss dialogue. For stage 6, 1 minute, 27 seconds. Sakuya here is the same story. It's dialogue and speakable spell card. Stage doesn't advance until she's defeated, simply because the mid-boss is the final section of the stage. Something interesting though is that when Sakuya is taken down early, the stage has to scroll up to the movement. When it was timed out, I was already at the movement when the spell card background disappeared. Total time came to 12 minutes and 12 seconds. The extra stage, 4 minutes and 32 seconds. There's actually not too much to note. Mainly just that extra mid-bosses typically have 3 spell cards with long timers. Knocking them down won't do any of them. I'm assuming all 3. The stage doesn't advance until it's over. This is the main reason for the infinite lives cheat. That wasn't obvious. Now a few interesting points. Of the 6 main stages in USD, 4 of them have the same finish time regardless of how you play it out. The longest stage in the game when timing everything out is stage 4 at 2 minutes and 58 seconds. The shortest stage when timing everything out is a tie between stage 1 and stage 6 at 1 minute and 27 seconds. Not counting the extra stage for these, just so you know. By the way, I am keeping track of how many stages are affected by timing out and what stages aren't, counting DX. The number is currently 3 and 4 stages respectively. I'll be updating this every game, but I will give the final result at the end. One of the overall longest and shortest stages won through DX, so there's something to look forward to if you sit through this entire endeavor. Next up is Perfect Cherry Blossom. Timing will be done the same way as the OST was. For stage 1, 1 minute and 24 seconds. For stage 2, 2 minutes and 7 seconds. For stage 3, 1 minute and 27 seconds. For stage 4, 4 minutes and 7 seconds. For stage 5, 2 minutes and 29 seconds. For stage 6, 1 minute and 13 seconds. Total time came to 12 minutes and 51 seconds. I also timed both the extra stage and the Phantasm stage. The extra stage being 3 minutes and 28 seconds. The Phantasm stage being 3 minutes and 37 seconds. Now the timeout runs. For stage 1, 1 minute and 31 seconds. So this time the stage doesn't advance while fighting the mid-boss. As you can see, it's a small difference. The real interesting part here is with higher difficulties. Cherno has a spell card here. Since the stage doesn't advance with the meter, but the boss has fallen. You might be thinking, well, if you just time with the non-chill meter, spell card like all the other bosses, right? Well, that's accurate. Cherno does go for his spell card, even if he times the non-average. Spoiler, this is the only mid-boss in the game that does this. Final time of the stage were 1 minute and 46 seconds of the standard run, 2 minutes and 8 seconds of the timeout run. A fairly decent difference in stage 1. For stage 2, 2 minutes and 29 seconds. The stage actually does progress while fighting Chen, but only up to the last section of the stage for the boss. I wonder if this wasn't the case, but it would be another Sakuya situation where she leaves, only to come back instantly. For stage 3, 2 minutes and 16 seconds. Oh boy, let's talk about stage 3. Alice is the mid-boss here. She pops up twice across the stage, stating it doesn't advance on either mid-boss or either. That's pretty standard, but I actually want to talk about the difficulty. The second mid-boss Alice has the spell card here. The stage will be longer by default. As mentioned back in stage 1, no other mid-boss in the main game has the spell card.
Are you fucking kidding
my
me?
own curiosity, I played this stage 3 times. The first was fully timing it out, which came to 3 minutes and 9 seconds. The second run was a standard run, which came out to 1 minute and 50 seconds. The third run was another standard run, except instead of shooting down the spell card, I timed out the non to skip it, and the time came to 1 minute and 51 seconds. A very slight difference between the last 2 runs, but there was a difference of 4 seconds in the clears on the first non. In other words, the difference isn't exactly 1 second, but it's still a pretty small margin. Interestingly, Alice did have a spell card here on lower difficulties in the earliest version of the game, but it was scrapped, making Alice one of 4 stage 3 mid-bosses to only have a spell card on higher difficulties. You guess who the other ones are? Don't worry, I'll be sure to mention them when they show up. Back to the main point with stage 4, a time of 4 minutes and 7 seconds. Lily doesn't have a spell card. The stage advances while you fight her. For fun, I timed how long it took the boss dialogue to pop up from when the screen stops rolling. It took 9 seconds. Honestly, much shorter shorter than I thought it would be. For stage 5, 3 minutes and 53 seconds. Stage doesn't advance until Yomu is defeated, and the spell card is skippable. A neat thing here is that Yomu's slowdown effect actually does affect the in-game timer, which is the main reason the time difference here is well over a minute. Sakuri's time stop ability affects the in-game timer as well, but since she doesn't use this gimmick in big box encounters, I didn't bother mentioning it. For stage 6, 2 minutes and 26 seconds. Same thing as last time. What I've got is that the stage backtrack here doesn't lose our head, but it did in USD stage 6. The total time came to 16 minutes.
Louise never leaves in these sections at all. It's
5
about
minutes and 25 seconds. Next out of stage, 5 minutes and 38 seconds. Pit bosses here work exactly the same as the USDs. Not much to know, but I thought it was neat to see there was a difference between them, mainly caused by the additional shots at the end of the Phantasm stage. Now the interesting points. Of the 6 main stages of CB, only one of them finishes at the same time, out. The longest stage of the game now is stage 4, at 4 minutes and 7 seconds. All these stages of the game where time gets a big boss out changes nothing, and the shortest stage of the game where time gets everything out is stage 1 at 1 minute and 1 second. Next is comparison. Time will be done the same way as the previous 2 games, and the stage is timed with what's required for a good ending in order to the route. 3A, 4B, and 6B. More on those later. For stage 1, 1 minute and 19 seconds. For stage 2, 1 minute and 54 seconds. For stage 3, 1 minute and 48 seconds. For stage 4B, 1 minute and 54 seconds. For stage 5, 2 minutes and 33 seconds. For stage 6B, 1 minute and 41 seconds. Total time came to 11 minutes and 9 seconds. For the extra stage, 3 minutes and 42 seconds. Now the timeout runs. Stage 1, 1 minute and 32 seconds. Wriggle is pretty much exactly like Juno and CB. The advance is defeated when a spell card of higher difficulty is longer than a fall. Card is also unskippable. The time for the standard run was 1 minute and 7 seconds, and the timeout run was 2 minutes and 6 seconds. For stage 2, 2 minutes and 31 seconds. Pit boss for the stage is the last version of the stage. It doesn't advance until it's defeated. The spell card is unskippable too. For stage 3, 3 minutes and 27 seconds. That's quite a jump in time over the other run, huh? Well, the reason is mostly that pit bosses up to this point tend to have dialogues. As for Melee, Sakuya, Data has dialogue before it actions spell card. Spell card means skippable, by the way. However, the dialogue here can be skipped, which means it advances with player input or automatically a much longer amount of time than the preset dialogue. The timeout run will be letting all the dialogue scroll naturally. The dialogue in question takes about 8 seconds to automatically scroll, which adds up. So, if the stage doesn't advance until she's defeated, I did decide to let the text scroll in these situations run, but I feel like the massive gap in time is tenuous. The problem is, if I manually advance the text, there's no way I can time it perfectly. So this is the best I can do. Now stage 4B came to 1 minute and 54 seconds, but I need to explain where this number came from. Stage 4 has 2 versions. Each one has a different boss. However, all aspects of the stage are the same, which is why I'm only counting
That
the one
seems
thing
always so
that fights
funny.
naturally. Ion Stage 4 is very unique, and then partway through the boss fight, the boss retreats. It's a stage section that has to be played before reaching the boss again. I decided to count that portion of the total, presuming the time for the dialogue is running, and results in the first portion of the stage taking 1 minute and 22 seconds, and the portion in the middle of the boss fight was 32 seconds long. I should note that I'm only counting 4B in my end of video total, 4A being 100% identical stage-wise. For stage 5, 3 minutes and 4 seconds. Stage doesn't advance until phase 2. Doesn't have a spell card, but timing her first non out does go into her second non, just like the others. For stage 6B, 3 minutes and 7 seconds. Now, this is where things get weird. 6A and 6B are very similar. There's actually a couple differences. The main one you probably know is the amount of berries is higher in 6B. There's another smaller one that actually changes the amount of time spent in the stage. For whatever reason, Edit's non-spell in 6B is about 6 seconds longer than in 6A. Timed out, an actual time difference is made, only about 3 seconds. Ganon's dialogue in both stages is skippable like Canis. She also goes through her spell card on non-timeout. And, for whatever reason, she has a hitbox during the dialogue on both stages. I actually ended up testing the other stages for this, and found that this trait is shared with 3 others in the game: Rainbow, Marissa, and EX Canon. EX Canon is understandable, she's also a response with 3 battle text.
Well,
Albeit I'll skip it. Rainbow and
faster
Marissa,
than I
though, are
thought
much
than
weirder.
expected.
No hitbox before. This happens in their 3 battle dialogue. However, it doesn't have the next set of dialogue in the case. Does this mean that the first encounter with Rainbow and Marissa is considered a hitbox? I have no idea, but it doesn't really matter right now, as I'm not counting it as so regardless. Sorry for the sidetrack, let's get back to stage 6. So regarding 6A, I'm not counting it in the total time since you can only visit one of the stages in a single run. But I am including 6A in the total idea of the video, because unlike stage 4, there's an actual difference in the stages that affects the final time. Speaking of final time, Ian's final time was 15 minutes and 35 seconds. For the extra stage, 5 minutes and 48 seconds. Same deal as the last one. Interesting to note,
sure.
it's the only stage in the game where the mid-boss has a preset dialogue speed. Quite the time difference this time around, but it's mostly because the stage increases the dialogue, which is why I'm not huge on the method I went with. But again, I don't know any better way to do it. Now the interesting things. At the 7 main stages in high-end, only one of them finishes at the same time, regardless of how you work it out. The longest stage in the game for timing everything out was stage 3 at 3 minutes and 27 seconds, and the shortest stage for timing everything out was stage 1 at 1 minute and 32 seconds. Honestly, if it wasn't for the way the dialogue worked in stage 3, stage 5
Seriously,
was
what's the last time?
And yes, I'm aware that stage 1 is likely going to be the shortest stage of time, but at this point, I'm committed. Next up is Mountain of Fame. Timing will be done the same as the previous 3 games. For stage 1, 1 minute and 21 seconds. For stage 2, 1 minute and 37 seconds. For stage 3, 2 minutes and 16 seconds. For stage 4, 2 minutes and 23 seconds. For stage 5, 2 minutes and 11 seconds. For stage 6, 1 minute and 1 second. The total time came to 10 minutes and 49 seconds. For the extra stage, 3 minutes and 28 seconds. Now the timeout runs. For stage 1, 1 minute and 43 seconds. Another fun stage 1. Let me explain. Shizuha has 2 nons that are effectively 1 health bar. The first non can be timed out to skip onto, and by doing so, the clear time ends up the same as the standard run. The stage advances up to a certain point, which goes well with 1. In fact, it consumes a few seconds before Shizuha is done, so the fairies get involved. Of course, I didn't do that. I shot the first non down with as little time remaining as possible, which started non 2 with a new timer. Now the stage does stop advancing at a certain point, which is why my final time here was 22 seconds longer than the standard. On Lunatic, non 2 is replaced with a spell card and becomes unskippable. The timer on the spell is also longer. The end result was 2 minutes and 4 seconds, and the standard run was 1 minute and 21 seconds. I find it quite interesting that the stage stays consistent on normal if you play it normally, or timeout non-1 in full. Whereas in Lunatic, you're forced to do the spell card, resulting in a longer timeout time. However, playing the stage normally ends up at the same time as the normal run. Of course, I only did 1 run of it, so I'm sure there's actually some variance in seconds. For stage 2, 1 minute and 37 seconds. Ina only has a single spell card, and the stage advances while you deal with it. For stage 3, 3 minutes and 35 seconds. Hitori only has a single spell card, and the stage doesn't advance until it's done. Hitori has preset dialogue that happens a bit before the actual mid-boss. She also has sequence dialogue after the fight, but only if you shoot the spell card down. So that's what I did with 1 second remaining. As you can tell, it made a pretty significant difference on your time. For stage 4, 2 minutes and 23 seconds. OBG only has 1 shot. The stage advances while you fight. Like Shizuha, the enemy starts showing up a bit before OBG times out. Interestingly enough, OBG's bullets don't disappear, but she does. For stage 5, 3 minutes and 2 seconds. The stage doesn't advance until Sanai is defeated. She does go into her spell card when the non is timed out. For stage 6, 1 minute and 1 second. There's no mid-boss during the stage. Only a mid-boss at the end. The total time came to 13 minutes and 21 seconds. For the the extra stage, 6 minutes and 58 seconds. You know the drill by now. Stage pauses and no spells are skipped. Interesting here though is that Kanako opened with a non-spell while still having 3 spell cards, making her the mid-boss with the most patterns in the series. And the interesting thing, of the 6 main stages in Mountain of Fate, 3 of them have the same finish time regardless of how you complete it out. The longest stage of the game when timing everything out was stage 3 at 3 minutes and 35 seconds, and the shortest stage when timing everything out was stage 6 at 1 minute and 1 second. Next up is Subterranean Animism.
We know
We've
Ramon
done the
is gonna
same
have
as
to
the
wait
previous
until
4 games.
next
For stage
episode.
1 minute and 33 seconds. For stage 2, 1 minute and 30 seconds. For stage 3, 1 minute and 37 seconds. For stage 4, 2 minutes and 18 seconds. For stage 5, 2 minutes and 57 seconds. For stage 6, 1 minute and 59 seconds. The total time came to 11 minutes and 54 seconds. For the extra stage, 3 minutes and 14 seconds. Now the timeout runs. For stage 1, 1 minute and 58 seconds. Kisume here works the exact same as
Dang it.
Shizuha. In fact, Kisume was what I noticed the difference at all, and had to go back to retime Shizuha. To jump ahead, the lunatic timeout was 2 minutes and 17 seconds. Kisume is a bit different here since she retains
I
her
mean, I
second
can still get the
non-
A rank
spell
easily,
card.
but
Final time on
man,
the
I
standard
really
run
wish
was
I
the
could
same
get
as
an
the
S.
standard run, and the non-one timer only run on the normal difficulty. For stage 2, 2 minutes on the dot. The stage only partially advances while fighting Parsi. Parsi doesn't go into her spell
Still
card
not
when the non is
impossible.
timed out. For stage 3, 3 minutes and 28 seconds. The stage
just
doesn't
go ahead
advance
and
until
loot this place if all it's worth.
Yuki does go into her spell card when the non is timed out, and she has skippable dialogue. Yuki actually has 2 nons. When non 1 reaches 29 seconds, or shoots 4 sets of lasers, she goes into her second non with the remaining time. All of the HP of non 1 gets converted into non 2. If you shoot non 1 down, she still goes into non 2, but it does reset the timer back to 44 seconds. For stage 4, 2 minutes and 18 seconds. Stage advances during the Orin fights, though the first encounter is time-based to begin with.
Jade
this
is calling
surprising.
herself.
Orin has a hitbox even after being shot down too. She tackled me when leaving the screen. For stage 5, 2 minutes and 57 seconds. Orin has 2 nons and a spell card. Timing them out ends the fight, but even when clearing them with only a second left, the stage continued to advance. In fact, at the end of Cat's Walk, the ghost started to fill the screen while Orin was still there. In case you were wondering, Orin still has a hitbox here too after her fight is finished. This is just something about her cat form. For stage 6, 1 minute and 59 seconds. Orin's back with only 1 spell card. The stage advances while you fight it. Timing it out brings you to the final enemy of the stage. Total time came to 14 minutes and 40 seconds. For the extra stage, 5 minutes and 19 seconds. And a note here aside from the expected, aka pause stage, reset dialogue, and unskippable spells. Now the interesting points. Of the 6 main stages in SA, 3 of them have the same finish time regardless of how you play it out. The longest stage in the game when timing everything out was stage 3 at 3 minutes and 28 seconds. And the shortest stage in the game when timing everything out was stage 1 at 1 minute and 58 seconds. Despite the way the skippable text is loading some final results, none of them have managed to pass PCB stage 4 in time. Wonder if that'll last. Next up is Undefined Fantastic Object. Timing will be done the same as the previous 5 games. For stage 1, 1 minute and 35 seconds. For stage 2, 1 minute and 58 seconds. For stage 3, 2 minutes and 12 seconds. For stage
I'll
4,
go buy one
2
of these
minutes
as well.
and 22 seconds. For stage 5, 2 minutes and 24
May as
seconds.
well.
For stage 6, 1 minute and 45 seconds. The total time came to 12 minutes and 16 seconds. For the extra stage, 3 minutes and 58 seconds. Now the timeout runs. For stage 1, 1 minute and 58 seconds. The stage doesn't advance until Nazareth is defeated. Unlike the previous 2 games stage 1 mid-bosses, Nazareth does go into her second non when the first one is timed out. However, on higher difficulties, timing out non 2 does still skip her spell card. The time for the standard run here was 1 minute and 45 seconds, and the timeout run was 2 minutes and 23 seconds. For stage 2, 2 minutes and 26 seconds. The stage doesn't advance
That's it.
until Pogasa is defeated, and she doesn't go into her spell card if the non is timed out. Incredibly unsurprising, which is right on brand for the poor girl. For stage 3, 3 minutes and 58 seconds. The stage doesn't advance until Ichin is defeated, and she does go into her spell card when her non is timed out. She then has 2 sets of skippable dialogue, which you probably already guessed from the time difference. However, the second set only plays when the spell card is shot down, which of course is what I did. For stage 4, 2 minutes and 22 seconds. New Ball is kind of a mid-boss, but also not really. Regardless, it's a time section, so no way to speed it up. For stage 5, 4 minutes and 8 seconds. Stage doesn't advance until Nazmine is defeated. She does go into her spell card when the non is timed out, and she has skippable dialogue. CB stage 4 has finally been passed, but even with all this going for UFO stage 5, it's still only a single second difference. For stage 6, 1 minute and 45